Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Boxing Coalition. My name is Cam. Joining me tonight, I've got my boy Leon. How you doing, Leon?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. You?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, brother. Hopefully a few more people jump on a bit. Chu said he'll probably be on in about half an hour. Kev will probably jump on too. Yeah, casual fans these days, you know.
Exactly, we're slipping.
Yeah, we are slipping, and you and me are holding it down though, so...
Yeah, the only two married men. Got nothing better to do.
If anything, we should be doing it less because like our wives have got like the thumbs down on us. So
exactly.
But yo, Leon, it was the weekend of the heavyweights.
Yep.
Main 3 fights of the weekend, really, and they were all heavyweight fights, all biggish names apart from I guess Prince Charles Martin and Glazkov. But we'll get to that later. Do you want to start with Wilder? Or do you want to start with David Haye?
Should we just get Haye out of the way? Because, I mean...
I think we've kind of got mixed feelings about this because I know I had a rant at the end of last year about the whole Haye fight and I wasn't interested and I've lost so much money in booking fees with his fights and stuff. But
same here.
I was impressed, man. Not with his performance because, you know...
He was fighting nobody.
Yeah, that fight shouldn't have been sanctioned, to be honest.
I mean, that guy threw no punches.
He could have been violently hurt, to be honest.
He falls under the big stiff idiot bracket.
Yeah, so with that, I'm not happy with. I think Haye's quality, he could have come back to much more quality of an opposition for his first fight back after his absence. So I'm not happy about that, but I don't know. You know, being on the channel Dave, just again for the people in the States, Dave is the name of a terrestrial TV channel. It's not on your main TV, but most people have it in their houses. And for Haye to have, you know, no promoter, no big network, he sold out the O2 at 16,000 tickets, is it, Leon?
Something like that.
With no undercard. Fighting and nobody, I've got to say that's impressive, Leo.
Oh, it is impressive. I mean, people are stupid and they haven't learned a lesson that he might let you down. But he draws, doesn't he? I mean, whatever you say about him, he draws, and he can still definitely punch.
Yeah,
I mean that's two big things. If he's got a TV channel that's free. He can draw and he can still punch, and he'll be back on Sky in no time, won't he? And we'll be paying for it then.
Yep, unfortunately, yeah, he's going to go straight to pay-per-view then. But for now, yeah, I was impressed. Even the whole setup, like from start at 9 p.m., there was no fights until Haye's fight, which was about 9:45. And if that was any other venue, if that was a Warren card or a Hearn card, people were being booing, getting pissed off, but they had a DJ playing music and the whole atmosphere looked quite good, to be honest.
Yeah, because I guess do you think there's a lot of casual fans?
Yeah,
just
it was
fans,
it was full of casuals, but still, man, it was nice to see.
That's his power, isn't it? He can still do that. If you can pull it off, then why wouldn't you? You know, you don't need an undercard. If that many people are willing to sit there and wait for you, you're all right.
Yep. I mean, but when he came out, well, like the crowd, I don't know. I kind of got caught up in it a bit, maybe a bit too much, but
he was a big name, wasn't he? He was a massive name. So I wasn't surprised that people turned out for him.
Yeah,
because he was like the beginning of the casuals.
That's true.
Wasn't he?
That's true. And TV figures wise, you sent me a message earlier and. For Saturday night on that channel, pretty decent figures. What they're saying, it peaked at around 3 mil and averaged
1.3.
That's not bad though, Leon.
That's just what. So it came from UK TV, UK TV press Twitter, and I saw it off a Boxing News guy. So that's UK TV owns Gold, like numerous of those kind of slightly cheaper channels on kind of our Freeview, so they got Gold, Dave, and a couple of others.
Yeah.
So that's just them saying it, but you know, you're not going to come out and show off about numbers that aren't true, are you? That's
true, and Daily Mail have posted the same figures as well. If that means anything or not, I'm not sure, but
they're probably getting it from the same source. But you know, I don't think you can. Yeah, if you're trying to build something, you're not going to get caught up in a lie that stupid, are you?
No. But still, though, pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
Coming to the fight, there's not much really to say, is there, really? deMori was barely through anything. High guard. And then just... I like how Haye, drew the jab and then came back with the right hand. Beautiful
And he
punch.
was going to the body more, wasn't he?
Yep.
That was, so maybe that is a bit of what's been going on in the new camp. Because I've never seen him throw many body shots. Well, I think he's the only guy out of all these big stiff idiots that fought over the weekend who actually threw to the body.
And who had head movement.
Yeah.
We'll come to Charles Martin later, but he was so stiff, man. No upper body movement, no head movement. But back to Haye.
Tyson's right, isn't he?
He is right. He is right. But just going back to Haye, what do you see now, really? Do you see a summerish fight with a better opposition to fully test your shoulder and see where he's at?
Yeah, so he'll fight... Is there any British guys for him to fight? Because he could have a British level fight. But he'll probably fight, what do you think, beginning of June?
I think that would be ideal for him, and then maybe one towards the end of the year. He needs to be active now. He
wants to try and fall into the cycle of being that Joshua fight, and we know that's going to happen at the beginning of December.
I think the Joshua fight, personally, I think Hearn's going to push that to next year.
Especially because he's still a monstrous puncher.
Yep, and... court music in the shout out to him, my boy. It was his birthday yesterday, so happy belated birthday, Court.
Happy birthday, mate.
He's saying Dylan White, and I spoke to Scorsese today, and he said the same thing. And I'm just thinking White would probably want a tune-up before he goes in with Haye, because he just come off a brutal knockout to Joshua. I can't see him wanting to go straight against David Haye, but I think the build-up to that fight would be excellent. I could see a lot of trash talking, but I don't think that would be next.
But the other thing is, there's now the distraction of Prince Charles, because every cunt wants him, doesn't they?
Yeah, because he's like the easiest
belt holder. He is dead man walking, isn't it? He's literally a dead man walking.
He should just throw the belt in the bin and do a Riddick.
For his own
health, yeah. Just dash the belt in the bin and say, that's it. I've been champ. That's all I need to do.
But going back to Haye, I think he proved, I think, to everyone that at least we can say he's fit enough to be in the ring. So that's a start, because we were never
He is, but
sure.
Was his shoulder tested in that fight? I would say
only tested on his fist slamming into a big fat head. So it handled the reverb of throwing a big shot.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But the whole thing about, him being a bit bigger, carrying an extra 1 stone of weight, 14 pounds or whatever, the extra muscle would protect you, rotate the cuff a bit more, so
yeah.
Maybe
it's almost like he's trying to carry a little bit of fat on it as well, isn't it?
It did look, because he didn't look as cut up as he has in the past.
But all the best heavyweights have looked like a lot. None of the best heavyweights of all time have been ripped, have they?
That's true.
Ali was never like. No one's ever been like, going AJ style, really, the best.
If anything, I'd say Holyfield, but he had spurts where he wasn't like fully ripped either, so.
And he, God knows what he was
what he was
sticking in his ass.
That's true. Anything else regarding Mr. Haye?
The good thing is, however much I've been, disparaging about him because of the daylight robbery and my missing booking fee money, it's good to have him back, because at least he's going to bring... If everyone's saying this is the big new revolution of heavyweight boxing, which is everyone's saying just because one guy lost one fight, then I'm glad he's back in the mix. But everyone's he's got a bit overexcited about this, haven't they?
No, I agree with you fully regarding, I'd rather have Haye in the mix than not in the mix. But, people on Twitter have been a bit crazy now about the heavyweight division. Adding Haye has made it spicier, but it's not, turned it on his head now where it's
we'll get to this when we talk about Wilder. About, there's only one guy out there now in the top 10, if we take away Vlad, with one legitimate win, and that's Tyson. And no one else has beaten anyone else.
No, that is true.
of any quality. You know, we'll come to Wilder. I've got a few things to say about what he said about Tyson.
Are they salty?
For his taste, yeah, he'll need a glass of water afterwards.
A couple glasses, probably.
Yeah, I would have thought so. Yeah.
All right, just before we leave the Haye conversation, I've seen a lot of feedback about Paul Dempsey. You know,
Laying it down. He's so good.
Yeah, the broadcaster that he was doing the show with BJ Flores, and he did the post-fight interview, and I just got a little clip here.
You've had your easy one. What would you like to do next? I enjoy the victory. Not too much. That's over. No more party, David. Okay.
Couple of weeks, and I'll be back.
Yo, Paul Dempsey was stern with him. That was one clip. There were a few others, but I didn't want to just take over and play loads of clips. But if you've not seen that interview, just go onto YouTube. It's the end of the fight. Davey Boy Essex has posted up a crisp 1080p version of the fight, so just look that up and look at the end. But Chemo, my boy, had a bit of a reaction to Mr. Paul Dempsey and sent me a voice note.
Yo, this is my favorite interviewer ever, man. He fucking called him out so bad. He started stuttering, man. No more party, David. Awesome props.
No more party, David. No more party.
No more party. But how refreshing was that to see?
It was fucking good, but I like Paul Dempsey, man. Like when I used to have BT Sport, I used to watch their magazine show, you know, Boxing Tonight, and they had specials where they had like Eubank and Saunders on, and he does that with everyone, man. Like, he doesn't hold punches. You can tell he's not a company man. He'll speak his mind. That's
the idea. If you're going to be big enough to put the word journalist in front of your name, then do something. At least he's willing to answer questions, unlike those. I mean, we'll come to some of the shit that Adam Smith was saying on that Sky commentary for the Wilder fight.
Yeah, Adam Smith was.
He was I used to like him, but he's a fucking bum.
I'm the same. Like, I was a big fan of Smith before, but now I'm kind of a bit mixed with him, to be honest.
I mean, how bad? That whole Frotch was a fucking car crash, wasn't he? As well.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, shall we get to Wilder?
Yeah, we'll move on. We'll get Wilder. My boy Kev is just.
Yes. Is he coming on?
Yeah, I'm just messaging him now. Let me see if he's going to jump on. But as I'm trying to get through to Kev, we got another caller in a while. KH.
Yo.
How you doing, Kev?
Yes.
Chilling.
Yo, we just
rested up from hibernation.
Yo, you like a bear just hibernating in the winter.
Yeah, man.
Getting fat.
Yeah, definitely. Nah, actually, I lost weight. I lost that 20 pounds I was trying to lose, man.
Shit, that's good, man. Congrats.
Yeah, I finally got under that 200-pound mark for the first time in, 8-9 years.
Shit, that's good, brother. That's
hard work.
Good. Kev, I got Leon on the show with me.
Dedication, exactly.
Kev, I got Leon on with me. We're just finishing up on David Haye. Did you see the Haye fight?
Saw parts of it. No. I couldn't get anything good when it was live, so I couldn't. You know me, I'm the worst with getting streams, so I just saw a couple of rounds.
There was only 90 seconds.
Oh, then I saw the wrong thing, man. Someone sent me that shit fucking on the DM.
Someone sent you the wrong.
Someone probably sent me a preview or something. It was only 90 seconds.
Yeah, he sparked him out in about 90 seconds in the first round. So someone misled you.
I was getting loaded up on everything. Hey, then I did of course I watched the Wild and all that shit late, so.
See, you know when you need a link, you always have to come to me, Kev. I'll give you the proper links.
Yeah, man. I'm the worst with that, though. None of my shit works. It always asks for passwords and stuff and accounts.
No, Cam's got the links here. He's a key master.
All right.
Yeah, man.
The encyclopedia over there, man.
Exactly.
I try. All right, Kev. We're going to move on to the Wilder fight then, seeing as though you watched the wrong David Haye fight.
Yeah, man. I never fucked with old boy, man. David Haye.
That's fair enough.
That toe injury was too much for me to deal with after that. Complaining about a toe.
Oh yeah, I mean that was a dark day for boxing, wasn't it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but
take your licks, man.
That is true. But we got a special guest. Let me try and get him on the line. See if it goes through, and then we can start talking about Wilder.
Oh, I need to know. Oh shit.
Old school phone.
What, he got a rotary?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yo, Wood, my brother, how's it going? It's Cam from the Coalition.
It's Wood. What's going on, man?
Yo, we're good. We're good, Wood. We just talked about David Haye. We're going to talk about Wilder and Szpilka, or Szpilky, according to Mike Tyson. I got Kev on the line with me, and I got Leon on me. Say hello to Wood, guys.
Hey, guy. Hey, Wood. How you doing,
Wood,
man?
what's up, man?
How y'all doing, man? Everything's fine over here, man.
All right, Wood. Let's get into it. Wilder, Szpilka.
Okay,
what was your thoughts on the fight?
Oh boy. Well, like I was talking yesterday, I was on the radio station. Like I said, Wilder, he never said he was the best. He never said he was the best boxer. He always said he's a work in progress. He always humble, saying he's trying to get better, and he said his goals. And so far, he's been proving he's not the best boxer, but he has power, and he's been putting these motherfuckers on their asses every fight. He haven't had the best opponents, but so far since he had the title, he's been defending it, putting people on their ass. But the guy, I just now heard some ridiculous shit that the Szpilka said that Wilder can't punch.
I read that as well, Wood. I read that and I thought that's a bit rich, seeing as though you were out cold on the canvas and you're back.
Yeah, he said something like he expected him to hit harder. Meanwhile, he got stretched out of it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's all you had to do is put a black suit on this nigga, and he been dead. That's all you had to do is put a suit on this motherfucker, and he was gone. The referee stopped the count, all that shit. How hard he want this nigga to hit him? He put you out. He put you out cold.
The thing is,
you say he don't hit hard enough.
If he had to hit any harder, he might as well have just shot him. You know, because he was
yeah. He looked like he got hit with a Desert Eagle. He looked like he been hit with a desert. He was done. I thought he was dead. When I first seen him, I said, "Oh, this nigga dead."
The thing is, it was such a short, crisp right hand. It didn't look like it had that much power, but the effect it had on Szpilka, man, it just fucked him up.
You know why? Because he didn't see the shit coming.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Paulie said, right? It was behind the ear.
Yeah, but he didn't see it either. He just like turned his head because his coach, Ronnie Shields, told him. He said, whatever you do, don't ever throw that punch again in this gym. Don't ever throw that punch. Get rid of that punch. And he threw that punch, and he got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, his left hooks were wild. His left hooks were wild.
Yeah, he threw that wide hook, and he came in the middle of that shit, and he didn't see it coming. It's always the punches. If a little kid about 12 years old sneak up on one of us and pop the shit out of us real good, we don't see the shit in the right spot, he might knock us the fuck out.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a lot of shit going on. It seemed like, you know, he got this opponent. You know, everybody's saying that Szpilka's a bum. Nobody never said this. Nobody never said this nigga was Sugar Ray Leonard. He just said he was just an opponent. Everybody's saying he's a bum and shit, but he was a pretty tough guy. He was giving. For me, it looked like the fucking cards was fucking even to me. It seemed like it could have went. That fight could went either way down the middle. It's like you couldn't tell who was winning up until he got knocked the fuck out.
Isn't that more of a criticism of Wilder then? Because Szpilka,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. People
I seen it. Yeah.
He getting a lot of criticism. It's like he gets no love. It seems like everybody's shitting on him. I'm saying, look,
but doesn't he deserve to get shitted on if he wasn't blowing away Szpilka for 9 rounds? I mean,
I don't know, man. Because I'm gonna tell you this way I look at it, right? He never said he was the best fucking boxer. He never said he was pound for pound. He never said, he never claimed all these accolades. He never said he just go in there and fight. He never said he was the best boxer. He never said he was the best boxer. But Szpilka never been knocked out like that. I don't know if he never been knocked out like that. But who are blowing fighters away like that? Nobody blowing fighters away like that. But everybody he faced so far, he knocked out except for one person. He beat that motherfucker up so bad he went to the fucking hospital. I don't know, man. I just try to call things. I'm saying, if y'all been listening to me over the years and shit, I just call shit the way I see it. You know, it just I don't fuck with none of these niggas anyway like that. None of these. I don't care who they are. I don't fuck with these. I just want to see a good fucking fight any fucking way.
That's,
I don't give a fuck about these. I don't have no favorites.
That's my favorite
quote. I don't have no posters on my wall and none of that shit.
Yeah.
I ain't fucking with none of them like that anyway. I just call the shit the way I fucking see it. It could be blue, it could be green. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. I just call the shit the way I see it. So what else? It's just a lot of controversy. Let me tell you, since the last time I talked to y'all, I think it's like almost like close to 2 years. It seems like the climate have changed far as a lot of race tension and shit. Y'all have noticed that?
In what sense?
Far as everybody got to pick a side. When I first got into it, boxing always been a little your guys against my guys, and it was always that when it first started off, the Irish was in it, had a few Jewish boxers, Italians and the blacks, and it was just, it was hard times back then, and it was little race tensions and blacks, and everybody had so when as it got, everything started to get a little better. Now it seems like shit going back to the motherfucking 1800s and shit. It seems like if you black, you can't cheer for a white person. If you white, you can't. Everybody got to split down. They got all these weirdos in the damn boxing. All these weirdo people in the chat talking all this crazy racist shit. I ain't about all of that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So it got me, I say a little dumb shit because it seemed like I gotta lower myself. I gotta lower my fucking self. They talk to these people and shit. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. Just don't speak to those people. Those people are idiots. This is, I think the weird thing is it seems to be like the Triple G effect. All of a sudden, he's the catalyst. And he's like the nicest guy on the planet. And with European boxers doing a lot better, too.
With the European boxers doing better, too. With the European boxers doing better, too. There's more hate, like, you know what I mean? Before it used to be they were like our stepbrothers. Now they're doing better than us.
Yeah, y'all doing a lot better, and there's a lot of pride. And it's supposed to be, pride from people that's you're supposed to represent. Cause I have a boxer that's from Baltimore. Y'all probably know him. I've been in this gym a whole lot of time. Gervonta Davis. They won with the money team. Gervonta, little light skinned kid.
Floyd's camp.
Yeah, Floyd camp. Yeah, I know his coach. His coach grew up in my building and everything. Yeah, Tank. Yeah, he grew up. I've seen him. I've been seeing the kid ever since he was 8 years old. But I'm not gonna. If I see somebody fuck him up, I'm not gonna be like, oh, he didn't get his ass whipped. But I'm proud of him that he's doing good because I know where he come from, and it's rough. Baltimore's a rough place, and I like to see anybody make it up out this motherfucker. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah.
He's doing good. I would like to see that. But far as being exaggerated, saying that he the number one boxer in the world and nobody can't beat him and shit, I ain't going that fucking far. I'm just gonna call it for what it is. But that was a good fight. First it was starting off a little boring, but I ain't like the other fight. I know what you're gonna ask me next about the other fight.
Yeah, we will. I just want to go back to Wilder for a second, give my opinion. I think.
Okay, go ahead.
I think the reason why he gets criticism because he was fast-tracked to the title, and now that he's got the title, he's slightly getting exposed a bit by his opposition because his opposition had to elevate a bit, and he seems to be struggling with guys, now that he's a champ, where before, on his way up, he was knocking dudes out in first, second, third round, so I think that's why he's getting criticism from a lot of people.
Yeah. I can see that too. Yeah, I can see that too. You know what? I was looking at first. I wanted to go back and look at his. I went back and looked at some of his highlights it was like a 5-minute clip, and he was fighting some terrible people. I'm talking about, it's like they just got these like he was fighting people from out the crowd. It's like if you was over 200 pounds, they'd put some shorts on you and get in there. You put some boxing shorts and shit on you, get in there. But another person was, I'm saying, Al Heyman he bring people up like that. Cause what's that little short dude that's from DC? He barely fight. And he fought against Lomachenko, and Lomachenko beat the shit out of him. What's his name?
Gary
Russell.
He kind of seemed like he's going on that Gary Russell type of tip. Cause Gary Russell, we thought he was knocking everybody out and doing this. As soon as you put him in there with a real fighter, he got exposed. So I think he bringing him up something like, even Berto was brought up like that too. Berto was brought up something similar to that, and now you can see him. You can see all their flaws once they start getting in there with better boxers. But he never said, because he never said he was the best boxer. So, I used to shit on him I used to shit on him a lot. If you'll go back, I used to shit on him all the time, call him all kind of names. But I just trying to be a little fair. He don't have a big amateur career, and he doing it best. But look, you think about it.
I don't know. Wood, it's KH, man. He might not have never said he was the best boxer. When you talk all that bomb squad shit, you're the real champion. Like, shouldn't you have one decent fighter in your 3 defenses? Like, dude fought dudes that sleep on people's couches and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, but he's trying to get that. I think that one guy. I think his next fight going to have to be a good fight. It's going to be that what's his mandatory Povetkin?
Yep.
Povetkin, yeah. But it seems like Povetkin the one that keep postponing the shit. Like Povetkin not even hurry to fight him.
Those Russians are weird though. You can't trust them Russians. They're weird guys.
Yeah,
I'm being honest. You know what I mean?
I don't know too much. I know they not. I know one thing. You can't owe them motherfuckers money. I seen that on training day and shit. They shot Lonzo.
They did that in The Wire, right? The Greeks, the Russians, all them shit.
Yeah. They fucked around with it and shit. Like, nobody don't fuck around with no Russians and shit. They fuck you up. Yeah, but they seem like. But I'm saying, who else? I'm saying the guy Charles Martin. I give him a hard. He fights slow as shit. I don't like the way this nigga fight.
He's so stiff.
I just don't.
So stiff.
I don't like. I don't want to go ahead on. I don't want to jump ahead. I don't want to jump ahead when everybody get they go ahead. I don't want to mess with the rotation, but.
No, go ahead, Wood. Like we're gonna get to the point anyway. But yeah, me and Leon were saying off air that Charles Martin is so stiff, no upper body movement, no head movement.
Nothing. He just. I was telling Ness yesterday, the day before yesterday. I was like, yo, this nigga. Yo, now you talking about somebody gonna get exposed. Now, if I see him fighting any of the guys, I see Fury fucking him up. I see the young guy Joshua beating the shit out of him. I see some of y'all journeymen beating the shit out of him.
They've all been calling him out today. Everyone wants a piece of him. He's got a massive target on his back.
Chisora was at his press conference.
I think that was a mistake getting him the belt. I believe I call him Allah Heyman and shit. Allah Heyman got to protect this motherfucker, man.
Oh no, but he might just feed him straight to Wilder, and then he's got 2 belts.
Yeah,
let's see.
Yeah, he got to. Yeah, because somebody, if they take him overseas, he gonna get that shit took.
Yeah, exactly. They got to protect that belt. Not the fight.
Yeah, Josh. I know Josh was trying to get. I know that could be Joshua's easy belt for him. That could be an easy belt. I'll be up. Yeah, he did jump on that, but Allah Heyman gonna protect him, man.
Praise be to Allah.
Allah Heyman.
He's looking after him.
Say it again.
He's looking after him, isn't he?
Yeah, he got to because He don't supposed to have no belt, man. But he got it though. You know what I'm saying? You know, he about to change his life. You know, he about to get a big, crazy payday and change his life. But I don't think he gonna get too many of them because he's not gonna last long. If he don't go to a chiropractor, get that stiffness out his ass, man, he gonna be fucked up. He gotta get that stiffness out his ass, man.
He definitely does.
Nigga too fucking stiff, man.
That's true.
But so I know, and you know who another motherfucker, you know, now check this bullshit out. This David Haye motherfucker, this nigga been gone for like 5-6 years.
Nah.
He fight a Uber driver. Now they talk about this nigga fighting Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. That motherfucker probably was his cousin, or that motherfucker probably worked in his house or something. That probably was his cook. Who knows this motherfucker?
No one's ever heard of that guy. He was terrible.
Yeah. He probably was David Haye Gardner or something. Anybody. He probably was riding around looking for anybody over 200 pounds and shit. Oh, yeah. They gonna want right there. That's accent. We want to make a couple of dollars and shit. Can you fit these shorts right here? Can you fit these shoes?
But I tell you, the problem we have over here is that he had massive TV numbers on the weekend and he sold 16,000 tickets to fight that bum. So that's why they're talking about him fighting these other guys, because he can bring money, and that's the problem. That's why he'll get that fight. He'll get the fight at some point.
Yeah, I know. I heard he got a massive fan base. What they say, North London or some shit like that.
South London. He's a South London
boy.
Yeah.
Somebody called in yesterday.
But 16,000 for that fight is ridiculous.
That's pretty impressive, Wood. Because if you look at ticket sales in the States, Wood, like it has to be a super fight to sell 16,000.
Yeah, it's not, because you know what? It's all type of shit to do in the United States. It's all kind of bullshit to do.
Go to the hockey, go to the baseball, go to the basketball.
They got basketball. They got and even if it's not sports, they got all kind of stars, concerts, and they got all kind of shit.
They watch college football over there, Cam. Imagine we try to watch university soccer, as they call it. No one would turn up. It's madness, that college football.
Yeah, college football is crazy. They have like 100,000 people there at a fucking college football game.
That's crazy.
Hundreds of thousands of people. And then millions of people watch this shit on. Don't ever go up against that. I don't care what you got going on. You don't want to go up against that shit on a motherfucking Saturday. College football, it seemed like everybody watched this shit. And there was one person talking about boxing going down and shit like that. It's like, no, it's just people just nuts. You have to be in this country for a while and see how crazy people here is about college football. It's some towns, the whole town is dedicated to the fucking team. Like some teams, like some teams in Texas and shit like that. Man, you say something about the team, you may not make it out that motherfucking town alive.
That's true.
So you know, boxing going up against shit like that. So no
chance.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna make it. It ain't gonna make it. I don't care who you could be the best fighter in the world. Once you go up against some of that college, some of that shit, you ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna make it.
Wood, we got to wrap up soon, but I've got 2 more questions for you. You and Boogie Down Sean were my favourite callers on the Boxing Voice, because you always spoke your mind. My 2 questions, the first one is, what did you think overall of 2015, boxing-wise? And the second question is, what do you think of how PBC did in their first year of boxing?
Okay. Well, I think what I think for 2015 is we saw fights, but we saw fights. We saw good fights, but we didn't see the fight that we wanted to see. But they was good fights. Can you understand? It's kind of crazy, but you understand what I'm saying? We saw some good fights,
but we didn't know why. I get it.
It just they kind of manipulated. It seemed like they kind of manipulate. They was good fights, but it's not the fights that you know what I'm saying, that you might want to see. Like, say you want to see Danny Garcia against Keith Thurman. You're not going to see that.
No.
You may not see that. You may not see that. It seems like one thing about boxing, they think about money before they think about the sport. Money, they think about money first. It's like say if it don't have it's no real ranking. It's no real ranking. Say the number 5 guy, number 4 guy, and the number 1 guy. The number 1 guy may fight the number 1 guy may fight somebody that's not even ranked in the top 10. And the number 5 guy may never fight the number 4 guy. It's no consistency to the sport.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
And Wood, back in the day, it's like you had to fight the best guy to make the most money. Now that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah, and once you were the number 1 contender back in the day, you had to fight. You had to fight the champion. The champion had to fight you. So the number 1 contender used to mean something back in the 80s. It used to mean something. You just couldn't duck. And Sugar Ray Leonard, I think I forgot one of them boxers like in the 80s, they started that shit up where you can, like, when you real popular, you can pick and choose whoever started that shit fucked up boxing. Whoever chose that shit, you can fight whoever you want to fight. And then Mayweather just ran crazy with it. He took it to a whole, Sugar Ray Leonard used to do it, and Mayweather took that shit to a whole nother level. Now kids with 20 fights want to pick and choose. Adrian Broner and Danny Garcia, these motherfuckers want to pick and choose who they want to fight. Now the whole sport is filled with that. So we can't really get our hopes up on the fight because it may not never come true. We might be sitting around waiting for a fight for like 3 or 4 years.
That's the problem with boxing. It's kind of black and white sport. You either give the power to the promoters and the boxers don't get paid well and they get made to fight the fights, or you give the power to the fighters and they don't fight anyone. There's no middle ground.
I'm gonna let you ask me the next question, but I'm gonna say this what boxing needs. I always say this shit. We need a dictator like somebody like Dana White. We need somebody like Dana White. Boxing need to be ran like the UFC ran. We need somebody to say, "Oh, you fighting that nigga. You cannot fight him. If you don't want to fight him, you don't have a job." You know what I'm saying? We need that in boxing. If you don't fight him, get the fuck up out of here. Go somewhere else. If that's how we'll see what.
The worst interview I ever heard was that shit Angel Garcia was saying, like, why should Thurman and Porter fight? He's like, they're 2 elite fighters. They shouldn't be fighting.
When they can fight another sucker.
Yeah.
When he could fight another sucker. When they could fight soccer. I think Ness gave that Ness and T Street was there. When they could fight
when
another.
Does professional pride come into play? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like they don't have to fight. I think we need somebody like Dana White. You wanna fight. That's why the UFC fans they passionate about their sport because they get all the fights they want to see. They get all the fights they want to see.
The best fight, the best.
The best fight, the best. We have to wait. I don't know when we're going to see. Now, we have a fight that's brewing. That's Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Now, wait and see when we get that fight.
We won't get that fight.
Huh?
I don't think we'll get that fight.
It'll be, man. I don't even want to say. So what's the next question?
Yeah, the last question was just, what did you think of PBC's first year in boxing last year? Do you think it was successful, or do you think they had a bad year?
Far as ratings, I don't know if they did that good in ratings, but they have people that like it. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. I only catch the fights on YouTube and somebody because there's so many goddamn fights coming on, and I don't even know half these motherfuckers they fighting. So many people, so I just catch that shit. If it's a good fight, My little cousin tell me about it, but it's too much. I don't even know. And it's like half these motherfuckers I don't know. And then it's not the fights the people that I really want to see fight ain't fighting. So I don't care how many fights come on. If it's not the fights that I want to see, then fuck it.
Exactly. I said the
just
same
don't want to
thing.
just
my
be
approach
fitting up.
to it.
Yeah, I said the same thing. The thing about PBC last year was it was quantity over quality. There were so many fights, but the quality of the fights was so low.
Yeah, but we did a good. It was good. There was good, exciting fights. Some fights that we thought was going to be bad turned out to be good. But it was sometimes the fighters made the fights good. But sometimes you just want to be. Sometimes you might just want to watch boxing. If you just the type of person that you don't care who you can see the mailman fight the cook. You want to see fighting, the PBC for you. But if you're the type of person that want to see quality, want to see a good fight, then you might catch one here and one there. Yeah, any motherfucker, they just throwing any people together and let them fight. They let them fight.
Yeah, I'm picking the cook, man, because he's got access to knives.
Say it again.
Sorry, it was a bad joke. That wasn't that good.
All right. Y'all read? Okay, so that was it. It was all right, but it was, yeah. I'm gonna give it some. I'm gonna give it some time. I'm gonna see how this year. The first year. I just went on and let it fly by because I know it's a new process. I'm gonna see how new things. See how it come on. Now I'm gonna see how we getting Danny Garcia and Guerrero. I'm gonna see how they go. Then they got the Sean Porter, Keith Thurman. I'm just gonna see how see if they're gonna pick up and see. I'm just gonna see how it pick up and see. We're gonna see how it pick up. But these two fights that's coming up so far was pretty good. So I'm just gonna see. I'm just gonna give it a chance because it's boxing and they trying. I'm just not gonna totally shit on it, but I'm not gonna go crazy over it either. So I'm like somewhere in the middle.
Yep.
I'm like somewhere in the middle. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time to see how this year go. If it's fucked up, I'm just but I don't like how HBO. I don't like Showtime. Seems like there's hardly no boxing on show. It's saying the PBC killed Showtime and HBO. I don't like they commentate. Now, let me ask y'all a question. Do you like the commentating on HBO?
Me personally we get a different broadcast in the UK, so I don't really get to hear Lampley and Kellerman, but when I do hear them, if I watch a fight back, they are very biased, so I'm a fan of Lampley, but over the years he's become so biased.
Yeah, I hate another question. Kellerman. Yeah, Kellerman, he'll wishy-washy motherfucker. It seems like he's the type of person, whoever he with, that's what his opinion would be. He'll side with the people he with. See, with these people, he'll say so. He's one of wishy-washy motherfuckers. But look, I'm gonna ask you about Triple G. Do y'all? Y'all can answer it together or one-on-one. Do y'all think that Triple G going to be able to unify all the titles at 160?
No, I don't think I don't think the fighters want to. I think there's people who hold on to belts and avoid him. So he's running out of time.
He's running out of time. He's 30.
I always said he should do it, but now it's getting too much now.
So what do you think he should do now then?
Go up, and everyone's been talking shit about him. Go up, and if he's a real deal, he'll knock them all out. If he's as good as as we believe he is, I think he's good. So
he should go. He should go up because he'll be. Cause I'm gonna tell you how you remember it in boxing. You not remember. Nobody remember all the titles that Sugar Ray Leonard had. We know Sugar Ray Leonard by the fighters he fought. You know Tyson by the fighters he fought. You know all the boxers by the fighters when great fighters match up against each other. That what makes you great. The great going against the great. No one ain't gonna remember 10 years from now. Triple G and David Lemieux. What the fuck? That ain't no great fight.
True.
It's like Bernard Hopkins. You can't name like 15 or 20 or whatever his defenses. You can't damn near name any of them opponents.
Name them up, but you know.
But you remember Kelly Pavlik. You remember the Tito Trinidad, De La Hoya.
Yeah, shit like that. Jermaine Taylor. and shit like that. So he's wasting his time trying to unify that shit because nobody don't give a fuck when Hagler defenses and shit. We remember him with Sugar Ray. We remember him with Sugar Ray Leonard and Warren Rodan and all the motherfuckers.
And Tommy Hearns.
We don't remember Tommy Hearns and all them. We don't remember all those remember all those goddamn defenses when he fight against all the motherfucking clowns and shit he fight against. Who gives a fuck about all that?
But people remember Tommy Hearns more than Triple G for losing that fight because it was a great fight. You know, you need to be in the great fight to be remembered. You need the great fight. Sometimes when people are so passionate about that fight, they don't even say who won. They just say how good the fight was. Yeah, they don't.
It was just a war.
Yeah.
It was just and that's how you're gonna be remembered by the fights you've been when you go up against a person where you don't know who want to win, or you may be a little favorite, or people and everybody picking this person, picking that. Everybody got a different opinion. That's how everybody remembered those fights. That's how people remember those fights. So he's wasting his time chasing Billy Ho Saunders around, chasing motherfucker Canelo. Canelo say he gonna fight that motherfucker in 2018, and he's gonna fight him at 155.
Back to the Future shit.
Yeah, 2018 and 155. So you wasting your time. He could go up and get a good fight with James DeGale, and then I'm telling you, he could have had that fight with Andre Ward. I'm telling you, that would have been a classic fight. He would have been, whether people like Andre Ward or not, whether he's inactive, whether he's arrogant, whatever he is, he's going to go down in the Hall of Fame. Whether we like him or not, whether we like his attitude or not, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Triple G should have attached his name to that name. And that's how you become great. Whether it's a good fight or not, win, lose, or draw, people would love you for that. Fans would love you for that. And look all the time that motherfucker Tommy Hearns lost, but people still love him.
Yeah, so true.
People still love him. People Triple G with it. You can't attach yourself to David Lemieux or Willie the Worm Monroe. All these weirdos, man. Who gives a fuck about these niggas, man? Willie the Worm Monroe and all these David Lemieux and shit. I thought this nigga was a fucking hockey player, David Lemieux. I said, what the fuck? That nigga ain't no fucking boxer. I thought he said Mario Lemieux. Oh, okay.
Out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Wood.
All right, y'all. I ain't gonna hold y'all up. Y'all can give me a call on Mondays, man. Mondays. If my son don't have a basketball game, I can sit back and talk to y'all, man.
Yeah, man.
Wood, this is MB2. What's happening, man? You can't go now. I'm just on.
No. I left you a little message on Twitter, man.
Yeah, I know, bro. I was meaning to get back to you, but I said to Cam to give you a call tonight, man. Man, give us a shout, fucking as many times as you want on a Monday.
Yeah, Monday. Monday. I think because of the holidays, my son didn't have no game today, so you go to his basketball game and shit like that.
Before you go, I heard what you said about Golovkin there. Listen, you're my boy, but you know I listen to the boxing voice. You know this. You know I listen to the boxing voice. I know you hate Golovkin.
No, check it out. I don't hate Golovkin. I don't give a fuck about none of these boxers, man. I just want to see this guy. If he asks anybody, I know he can fight. I just don't like his management. The way they managing him. He's a good fighter. He's 34. He's 34 years old. He's wasting his prime years chasing people that don't want to fight him. Peter Quillen don't want to fight him. Danny Jacobs don't want to fight him. Billy Ho Saunders don't want to fight him. Canelo don't want to fight him. Cotto don't want to fight him. Why are you sitting at this fucking division? Me and Ness been arguing back and forth about this shit for like 2.5 years. Why are you still hanging down there? That's where the disdain come from. That's where the shit come from. Not out of dislike, it's out of frustration. Why is he still there when he's a good ass fighter? He can move up.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying with, but like IBR Steve in the chat is saying, what's the alternative? Are you asking him to move up to 168 against the bigger guys?
The real black hole.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The Golovkin black hole.
No, but Kev, it needs to be said. I mean, guys like
we've been saying it for like a year and a half, bro.
So what are the people in the chat saying?
They're basically saying, what's the alternative? I mean, I know it's the Golovkin black hole, but I think it's propaganda, it's pressure. You're putting pressure on the guy to fucking move up and fight at a disadvantage.
Okay.
He's a middleweight. Bernard Hopkins was a middleweight. Bernard Hopkins cleaned that division up.
Would basically people are saying that what's at 168 because it's become a weak division now? Really, what good fights are there at 168 for Golovkin?
Exactly.
Oh, he can fight. No, he can fight James DeGale. That'll be a good fight.
And who else?
And y'all got some. They got some. What's that guy? With those two brothers.
Darrell
brothers.
Let's see if his power carries up to 168 the way it is at 60.
I'm happy.
Okay, so with the other. See the Golovkin. You know what the Golovkin conversation starting to turn into? It's starting to turn into religion and politics. You don't want to get into it.
Exactly.
It could go on forever.
Yeah.
It could go. It's like religion and politics. Yeah. But I'm saying though. Oh, okay, MC Chi, you said that. Okay, now I'm gonna say this. Not to counter what you said. So what's the other alternative if no one down at 161 to fight him?
See, when I see your point, but when I think of Golovkin, I think of middleweight. I can't see him at super middleweight. He could knock everyone senseless in middleweight. If he goes up to 168, the attraction of Golovkin, which is his power, that goes away. You won't knock people out at super middleweight like he does at middleweight. So stay at middleweight, keep getting these highlight reel knockouts, get on that ESPN news, that Sports Center, that all that fucking regular network news with the highlight reel knockouts and build up your legacy that way. If you can't force guys to fight you at 160, you're not going to get any marquee names at 168 to fight you either. There isn't any.
But the problem is, Chew, he's beaten because I'm a Golovkin fan, right? But he's beat up the top 10 in 160. He's massacred them. So what's he going to do? Wait for another youngster to come up and then try and beat him?
Just Eubank Jr., I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'd love to see that fight, but me and you've got Eubank problems. But I still think Canelo's the problem. If Canelo would fight him, we could see who the real man was. But Canelo's not going to fight him. So I don't know. I don't know what he does. And I'm glad I'm not in I'm glad I'm not in the position to have to decide what he does.
Yeah, Canelo. They want the fight. See, Oscar is playing politics. Oscar wants the fight, but they want it at 55, and they want all the fucking money. They want all the money. So they basically saying, okay, if we do lose, we get all this damn money, and they're going to try to drain you. So they got the gun stacked against him because they know how bad he needs to fight. They know that's like when Oscar De La Hoya fought Floyd Mayweather. All the shit was stacked against them. They chose the gloves, the ring, everything, everything. So that's like Triple G is that desperate where he might have to say fuck it. He might have to say fuck it. I'll fight him at 55 and give him 90%, and it'll be a real big fight. And he need Canelo unless the people at 154, all those good fighters at 154, go up. But I'm glad NC2 asked me this motherfucking question. What about Laura? Won't this nigga fight Laura?
Fuck Lara, no, I can't have you. I can't have you saying Lara on the Boxing Coalition. He's got no choice, no chance even. No chance against Golovkin. I know you're a Lara fan, but Lara's...
But Laura it's a start. Laura have a little name. He's better than the motherfuckers. Look, who you ever him fight? Laura or what's his nigga name? Willie the Worm. You ain't complaining about Willie. You ain't complaining about Willie the Worm. Who the fuck is a Willie the Worm? That sounds like a fucking cartoon character.
Willie the Worm gave him a good fight.
Willie, yeah, Willie, that sounds like a fucking cartoon character, Willie the Worm.
Listen, Willie the Worm gave him a good fight. Lara would run like fucking...
We're not going down. We've been down this Lara Triple G. This is a horrible road to walk down.
Hey, check this out, though. But that'd be a name on his fucking resume. Look, this motherfucker done fought in pay-per-views. Lara done fought in pay-per-views. He fought in big fights. He made $1 million before. Willie Worm never made $1 million. It's a big name. This chases the edge.
Listen,
Willie Worm ain't shit.
He's a boy band member. See, before he started boxing, he was singing. He was a singer. I
know. Willie the Worm live around the corner. I know a nigga named Willie Worm live around the corner from me. Yeah, Willie the Worm. See that? That's not no person. Who the best boxer he fought? Willie the Worm. That's how he got to go up. He got to see. You know what it sound like, NC2? You know what it sound like to me? It sound like you acting as his manager. As you're not like a fan. You more like a manager. You seem like you trying to make decisions for him. Like it seems like you trying to protect him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Am I the only one sensing this, or what?
I see what you're saying, but at the end of the day, Lara is what is Lara's best win? He's not got any best wins. His best wins Angulo. So
right. Okay.
Lara talks a good game.
When is Willie the Worm? When is Willie the Worm base? When is Willie the Worm base victory or whatever it is?
Best win? He doesn't have a best win, but he had a good performance against the best fighter in that division. Wood, you're my boy, but the chat is kicking off. Because you're my boy.
No more Triple G.
Nah, the chat is kicking off. We're gonna have a fucking rebellion on our hands if we keep talking. If we keep talking.
All right.
Yo, Wood will save this for a conversation before Triple G fights.
Yeah.
But Woodman, it's been great having you on the show. Call back anytime,
okay.
Wood.
Okay, thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot. Y'all got my tell Ken to say my number. Just give me a call and now be on the show, man. It's a pleasure, man.
Thank you, Woodman. We appreciate it. Take
care.
Call
back, man.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Peace. Take care. MV2, my boy.
My boy.
How's it going? You alright?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
We're good. Let's get back on track.
Back to Wilder.
Yeah, we're talking Wilder.
So you're talking about Wilder. Who's on the line? You've got Leon, you've got Cam.
And K8 will be back in a bit.
Nice. She's talking about Wilder. Did you talked about this already, yeah?
No.
We kind of touched on it.
We went off.
Alright, I saw the fight today. What can you say? The Polish pin. They got fucking striked, that's for sure. Ooh, that was a hefty knockout. I wasn't, when I was reading the reports about the fight, because I read the reports on the fight before I actually saw the fight, I was like, they were saying that Szpilka had a lot of success. I buzzed him for sure, but I always thought that Wilder was in control. And I thought both of the guys were kind of, their legs, their legs were all over the place. They were very wide. They were like fucking guys who had just taken up the sport.
That's true. Like, one of my first mistakes used to be I used to put a lot my weight on my back foot, and Szpilka was doing that like all the time. He'd be leaning back, all his weight on his back foot.
Well, it depends on the punch you throw.
True, but generally it's dangerous to do it, because if you become under pressure from punches, you can't really go anywhere. It's hard to kind of step back from there.
True. I mean, if you're throwing like a southpaw, so he would be throwing a right hook on his front foot and be throwing all the weight on his straight left would be coming off his back foot. I don't know. I think he was getting confused as to he was just constantly moving his feet. Yeah,
he was shifting. Like when he was throwing that big swinging left hook, you'd see him shifting to orthodox.
I thought it was like nervous energy. It might give the appearance of being like a Polish football hooligan and shit, but I thought he was nervous as fuck.
I don't know. Like, I thought he could try to take a page from Tyson's book and that herky-jerky style that he did against Vlad, because I thought it was quite successful at times. Like, Wilder was missing pretty wild and bad throughout periods.
I gave, at no point, I'd say, for the first 4 or 5 rounds, I didn't think Wilder had any control of that fight at any point. It's only when he started using his jab in the later rounds that he started landing after about the 5th. But he looked horrible. He looked skillless in those first 4 rounds.
Szpilka?
No. Wilder was doing the Texas Tornado at some point. He was throwing punches and spinning around 360. I mean, that was like something out of a Charlie Chaplin movie. I can't believe how a guy who has had 30 fights can be have so few basics. I mean, if you were the trainer, you should just give up because you haven't done anything.
It's back to my point I made when Wood was on the line, though. He was fast-tracked, so a lot of his early fights were like first-round knockout, second-round knockout, so you can't really develop, There's only so much you can learn in the gym, on the pads and in sparring.
Well, he didn't have the raw material. Do you know what he looks like to me? He looks like someone who's shit at American football, shit at basketball, but he's athletic, so we need to find something for him to do. That's what it looks like to me.
True, it's off topic a bit, but if Wilder and Joshua were to fight this year, I personally would have it as a very close fight, because I think both guys are very basic at the moment, and I think they're kind of probably about at the same level.
Oh, I agree. The thing with Wilder is he gets away with a lot of shit because he's tall and he's big. He kind of leans in with a lot of his shit, and the guys are too short to reach him. And when he's leaning in and he's lunging and his footwork's so wide, he gets away with it just because he's 6'9". And I was always picking Wilder previously over Tyson Fury. I would just like to see someone of Wilder's size face him, just to see if he would get away with the stuff he does. Because in one sense, he's unorthodox. Sorry, Leon. In one sense, he's unorthodox, and you can't really tell what he's going to do, because there was like a punch in the 7th round where he landed like a crisp textbook 1-2, fucking elbow next to the chest with a jab, and then the straight left was like he was firing a punch through the eye of a needle. The fucking elbow was straight next to the chest. It was like there was no fucking cocking of the elbow. It was just a straight punch, and he does that, and then the next punch will be like Ricky Hatton style, fucking elbow in the air, and it's like a bow and arrow.
No, not the next punch. The next 20 to 30 punches will be poor. He throws one technically good punch by accident every 30 or 40 punches, as far as I can see.
I get what you're saying, but could you imagine him throwing all that technically great shit? Like I can see it.
No, because he can't box.
Nah, I disagree. I think I see the fucking greatness in him.
Oh, fuck off. Go to the other one. Fuck off to the boxing voice.
Nah. Listen, I've not heard this infamous show from the boxing voice shit. But
don't worry, we want all our listeners to stay alive. Don't worry, guys.
I know what you think about it, but what I'm saying is I actually agree. I see the greatness in him. I think he's learning on the job. And that is just a ridiculous thing for a WBC champion to be learning on the job. But
you're 30 fights in. How are you still a prospect? If you're a prospect of 30 fights, you should give up.
He's 10 years in, Leon. He's starting to get there. Listen, Szpilka is a bum. Szpilka is a bum, but every now and again you see like a flash of Wilder's greatness. And I agree with you.
That's like
for 2 minutes of every round he's shit.
That's like going to like amateur football, seeing someone do one Cruyff turn and go, that was good, and then the rest of the match be total shite. I mean, the knockout was devastating, and he can clearly punch. But none of the 4 fighters on that card should be anywhere near a world belt. That's how I feel on that American card. No, all 4 of them nowhere near good enough.
You know what? You just used a football analogy there. I think you did anyway.
Yeah. Somewhere in there.
It's like a guy who loses the ball for fucking 89 minutes and then he puts one in the top corner. He's a match winner. He's a winner. You know what I mean? See what you want about Wilder. He's a winner. He fucking knocks guys out eventually. You look like shit in the process. I'd love to see a PBC card with Victor Ortiz, Amir Khan and Deontay Wilder, because that is excitement. Everybody who faces him is competitive. Competitive fights. I'm not saying he's fucking going to be Lennox Lewis. He never will be, but what he will be is exciting.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I enjoyed the knockout. I love a knockout, and that was a fantastic knockout. But you can't heap praise on a guy he's done nothing. Look, as I said to Cam off air, there's one guy or maybe I said it on air, I can't remember now. There's one guy in this division with one good win. Tyson Fury has the only decent win.
Let me ask you, Leon.
Elite win, I'll say.
I agree, but let me ask you, Leon and Cam, who would you rather see fight? Would you rather see Vladimir Klitschko fight, or would you rather see Deontay Wilder fight?
Klitschko.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I'd rather see someone who is good at what they do than someone who's spiraling, throwing punches so wild that he spins himself round. I don't want to see that.
No, all the people in the chat acting up. Who would you rather see fight, Deontay Wilder or Klitschko? I'd rather see Deontay Wilder all day. All day.
Yeah, I'd probably lean towards Chew. The reason being is, how many Klitschko fights where you saw like a 1-2 and then grab and hold, and where even though Wilder's limited.
So we're heaping praise on. It just seems, it seems crazy. I'll carry on. Sorry.
No, I see your point that we're not praising like multiple unified world champion for 10 odd years, and then we're praising a guy that's basically a prospect and he's a world champion. But it comes down to like our preferences, and we want to see exciting fights, and like a lot of Vladimir fights weren't exciting.
Yeah, but I want to see exciting fights. Exactly. But I don't want to see this sport rewards people for so little these days, doesn't it? If you have to do so little to get anywhere near the top of to close to a belt that used to mean something. That's my problem with it. Is you can't, but you're not allowed to be a prospect at 30 fights. I'm sorry, you're not a prospect anymore. They cannot use that excuse. If you fought 30 times, you're not a prospect.
Listen,
get in there and fight someone, and then don't criticize Tyson, because Tyson is it was the man. He chased the man, not the belts. He chased the best man and beat him. Let's be honest, Wilder won a vacant belt against some nutcase who was fucking high on ragu sauce. I mean, let's be honest, it's not a good win, is it, when you hear the stories afterwards? Tyson is the only guy in that division with a legitimately the best win. No one else's wins come close to that win.
Okay, that's a good segue, because I want to discuss Tyson's antics after the fight. Question 1, what did you think about it? Question 2, was it distasteful considering, Szpilka was laid out getting medical attention?
Tyson's a lunatic. Tyson's a lunatic. It doesn't matter what we say. He's a nutcase. He can do what he likes. And the idea that Wilder's saying that he's a phony, he's a mug. Wilder's a mug.
Tyson Fury should have brought out the casket for the fucking casket match right there. He was laid out.
My favourite thing, I wish he'd fucking just iced Lou DiBella, though. How good would that have been?
Yeah, fuck Lou DiBella.
Yeah, fuck Lou DiBella. Fuck you, Lou DiBella.
See, I was listening to the Showtime feed, and Mauro Ranallo said something really fucking strange after he knocked the guy out. He says, the proof is in the banana pudding. I was like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, I've heard the proof is in the pudding. I didn't hear no banana. That's a little racial overtones, right?
I was like, oh, what the fuck? And another thing, like, about Tyson Fury, this guy needs to get a fucking tailor. Because these suits don't fucking go with him.
He's got the David Price tailor.
That suit was all right. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nah, that tie though. That tie was a
the tie was horrible. But anyone can buy a bad tie. Shit happens, man.
Yeah, but you can't. Yeah, you need to tie the tie properly as well, man. Like the shorter end shouldn't be longer than the thicker end.
He's got those big fat sausage fingers. He can't tie no tie.
That's true. Kev, what did you think of Wilder's performance?
Oh man, I think he looked like shit, man. I don't know. I want to like Wilder because like I think he seems like a real good guy. Like he seems like someone that you could root for. But when you basically fight two bums and then you fight a guy that couldn't do shit with Jennings, you know, and especially off the performance Jennings just came off of, it's like, and he even said, I want to come back to the 4-round explosive fighter, get rid of this guy. And this guy was sloppy, tailor-made for him. He's not that big. And it was just wild punch. It was a fun fight. I actually enjoyed it because it was more just wild, aggressive throwing and sloppy shit. But I like that stuff. So I enjoyed the fight. I just didn't think he looked good. And even like his jab, which looked good against Deverne, like I think Paulie and other people mentioned he kept dropping it down to his hip. And he just, I don't know if it was him being tired or just knowing Szpilka is not that good. His jab looked like shit.
And he didn't use it for the first 4 or 5 rounds.
Yeah, he was just winging. Some of his right hands were just looking bad, like a drunk guy in a bar throwing some shit.
Remember the Texas Tornado, the guy, the wrestler? We like wrestling. Yeah. He used to do that move, didn't
Kerry
he?
Von Erich, yeah, little spin move and shit.
Spinning like clothesline. It was like that.
Yo, Leon, what's happened to you, man? You're joining in on MV2 and Kev's WWF love.
Get through
taken me a lot. I've been hiding it deep down, pushed it down, but now it's coming out.
It's like your naughty little secret.
I love that shit.
Just to follow up, I found out how I fucked up on that David Haye shit. This guy, I couldn't spell this guy's name, so I ended up watching one of his cruiserweight fights. Something deMori or some shit. So I just watched that little minute or whatever knockout of some dude who got a fucked up haircut. Talk about guys from the bar. He looked like somebody who they just pulled out. Get knocked out.
Shit.
How could you take away anything from that fight? I mean, dude just stood on the ropes and allowed himself to get bashed with a barrage of right hands.
Have you guys talked about that fight yet?
Yeah, we have, but we'll get back to it for YouTube.
Let's carry on with Tyson.
Nah, just Tyson Fury.
But hold on one second, Leon. To follow up, like this is the thing. Like even I argue with Lit about it. It's like he might not have said he's the best, but when you say things like Tyson's a fraud and he beat the reigning dominant champion of the world, like. And you're fighting a guy who couldn't handle Brian Jennings, like, shut the fuck up, you know? Just know you're getting served up cupcakes, take your easy money, and take it like that.
He wanted nothing to do with Vlad. Did he?
Nothing.
He'd be like a vulture now. Go, maybe if Tyson beats him second time, maybe then I'll fight. Then he might even give Vlad a shot before he gives Tyson a shot. Thinking I can pick him off. That's my problem with him. He's saying all this shit to Tyson, and Tyson is a lot of things. But false isn't one of them. I mean, mentally ill might be one of them, but false isn't one of them. You know what I mean? He that's all pure with him. It comes from wherever it comes from, but there's no bollocks with him.
So you're picking Fury over Wilder, yeah?
Oh, I think Fury would knock Wilder out.
Nah.
I
mean, you're entailed.
I've never... Tactically poor... Technically poor, and there's one thing that Fury has shown is that he's got ring IQ, and he won't let it. And he's so open to straight shots. There's so many flaws, and Tyson's a smart fighter. He's proven that now. He has his elite win. People need to show him a lot more respect, and then they just don't because he doesn't.
As much as I hated that Klitschko fight, he showed that he could be disciplined from round 1 to round 12, and won't get caught like he did against Cunningham and stuff like that if he's in there with a perceived threat, and he'll just be game plan oriented. So I think he proved that.
I hate hearing people bring up that Cunningham thing. It was a flash knockdown about 3 years ago. And what's he done? Trained, gone away and improved. I mean...
Yeah. And like you said, people told me he was clowning. He knew he had him,
Yeah.
Yeah, I disagree. I think, listen, I'm not saying that Wilder's the best. I think Joshua would beat him. I think that Cuban Ortiz guy would beat him. But I think Wilder would beat Tyson Fury just because Tyson Fury doesn't have the power to knock him out, man. He doesn't have the power to knock him out.
I don't think he needs to knock him out, though.
He doesn't have to. He can stand still and fucking Wilder will run straight into his fucking fist at some point.
I think he could outbox Wilder easy.
Easy.
I think so too, Cam. I don't think he would knock him out. I think he would probably win like a 9-3, 8-4 type of thing.
I mean, come on, let's...
The Wilder I seen throwing those wide-ass punches and fucked up jab and footwork, I don't see him beating him. I don't know.
I see what you're saying, Ike, and he's not the finished article, but I think his wellness is his advantage. He kind of reminds me of like a Madonna in that sense.
When is he going to be in his finished article? In his 60th fight? How many more fights does this cunt need to get his shit together? It's 30 fights. It's a lot of fights to be throwing punches where you nearly fall off your feet.
Yeah, but he didn't have an amateur career. You know what I mean? He's in probably the worst division in boxing to learn on the job, you know?
Come on, man. He threw 2 punches where he nearly fell over. He's had 30 fights, man.
Didn't he fall over in one round? He threw a punch, went down, he had to get picked up in the corner?
Hey, listen, how many fucking fighters with 200 amateur fights and great technical skills get a knockout like that? How many? Not many.
This is heavyweight boxing. Every cunt can knock every other cunt out. I'm sorry, pardon my language.
Yeah, I think his power is a bit overrated. Yeah. From not knocking out Stavern to taking rounds with guys he shouldn't, I don't know. I think it's... I just never... Besides Tommy Hearns, how many guys with fucking toothpick legs really have huge power? I don't know.
I think his power comes from he's leaning in, he's leveraging shit. It's the kind of stuff that gets...
but that's... you can't do that to a... You can't do that to a Tyson Fury who's the same height as you,
Yeah,
it's
not
like an Arthur Szpilka who's 6'1", 6'2", or whatever,
He looked a lot bigger than him in that ring last night, I thought.
Yeah, Szpilka's not big. When I saw him live, I was like, he's not that big, and Jennings isn't that big, and they were basically the same size.
But I thought that Tyson Fury looked massive compared to Wilder in the ring last night.
Does anyone else think that...
He's a skinny motherfucker.
Like, the initial moment when Tyson came in, like, Wilder looked a bit shook.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't ready for that, I don't think.
Yeah, and then he kind of composed himself and started saying, "Oh, I baptize you" and all that. But the first initial moment, he looked a bit shook. I love Tyson though, man. He knows how to make headlines, man. Like fucking, no one was talking about that the Szpilka knockout. Everyone was talking about Tyson getting into the ring and like confronting him. It was kind of it was WWE-esque, but it's quite entertaining.
Well,
after that happened, I was like, fuck. I was like, fuck, I picked the wrong time to be shook of the Polish fans not to show up to a fight. Because I wish I would have met Tyson. Everybody said was politicking all through the crowd.
Yeah. Yeah, like, people are saying he was outside, like, mingling with the fans, taking pictures and stuff, so he's definitely a man of the people. But anything else regarding Wilder? Nope. Alright, Chew. Go back to David Haye. Your thoughts on the fight?
Yeah, not much to say. Everything, like after the fight, the interview was more interesting than the fight itself. I mean, and the interview after the fight was longer than the fight itself. This deMori guy, I don't know where they got him from. Fucking Perth, Australia, but they might have just picked him out for a fucking... like a line of fucking bums that they just recycled for David Haye. He's just... The guy came in with like a James Toney kind of thing. He was like left hand over the stomach, right hand holding the phone. And I just knew like 10 seconds into the fight this guy's going to get knocked out in the first round. And I was instantly regretting not picking first round knockout in the boxing coalition prediction league. Not that it mattered anyway.
Yeah, we'll get to that why later, but yeah, go on.
But the guy was an easy one is that guy, the interviewer. What was his name?
Paul Dempsey.
As Paul Dempsey said after the fight, "You're allowed an easy one." You could have told the crowd that. I've never seen a crowd empty so fast. Like, as soon as the main event was finished, the crowd just evaporated. And this deMori guy, everything about him was just amateur. His coat, he comes down. Honestly, I think he got that thing from like a Halloween costume place. Like the thing in the coat, the music, his look, his appearance, his style is just fucking shocking.
Even his haircut looked like those fake Mr. T hats he put on. It looked like a haircut.
And even as they were like reading out his name out, I don't want to criticise the guy too much, but you know, I've got to, because this shit's got to end, these mismatches. But he's kind of like giving this aura like he's a bully when his name's getting read out, and you to the uninitiated, you would think, oh, he's got a chance. Like all the casual fans watching on Dave, they're going to think that he's got a chance, and he was giving it that kind of fake bully thing. You just knew he was shook. And David Haye looked great.
It's not his fault, though. That's the promoter's fault, setting that up, you know? If somebody, that's probably the most money he's made in his life. You're going to take it, right?
No, I don't blame him. I don't blame him, but it just shows you the levels in boxing, that this guy can get a fight like that. Like, this guy shouldn't, even if David Haye has been out the ring for 3.5 years, he should never be in a ring with David Haye.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Never.
You know what this shows me, Chew? Since David Haye, has the shoulder thing, he's just trying to get a big fight, and he's going to end up pulling out during the fight or using the shoulder as an excuse. He's just in there for a payday. If he wasn't, he would have challenged himself a little bit. He would have had somebody that could take him some rounds to get some rust off and stuff like that.
I think we give him his next fight. If his next fight is a much better quality, we'll know he's serious. If he just takes another
warm-up guy, kind of C-level, D-level guy, and proves he can sell tickets, he's just trying to prove he can sell tickets to get the Joshua fight. Yeah. If he steps up in quality, we know what he's about.
Well, Kev and Chu, me and Leon discussed this earlier, but if Haye was to fight maybe in summer, June, July, again, what opposition would you like to see him fight? Any names, or would you just like a decent step up?
Dillian White.
Yeah, we mentioned that earlier, and I think White needs a tune-up after his loss to Joshua.
Whoever's filling the Chisora void these days, like somebody that might stretch him rounds and make it interesting,
I think like Tepper would be a good fight, or even Hellenius.
He's banned, isn't he?
He is, I think he is, but even Hellenius, Robert Hellenius, but I don't think he'd come over here to fight Haye. But if the money's right,
I'll tell you.
Physically he looked great,
Yeah.
They're all hunting that our Prince Charles now, aren't they?
Everyone's that's the target.
Yeah.
That's like when Paulie Malignaggi wins a belt. Everybody wants to fight Paulie.
Now, I was saying, Kev, like Prince Charles just needs to throw that in the bin. Throw the belt in the bin.
He's doing his Chris Bird impersonation out there.
But are we finished with Haye?
Yeah, I've got nothing else to say other than it's just it's good that he's back though.
Yeah,
I agree with Leon. That's it. I agree with Leon. I'll wait till the next fight to see really what's up with him.
Yeah. All right. Just going back to the Wilder undercard, we kind of touched on Charles Martin earlier when Wood was on the line, but did you see that fight, Chu? Charles Martin and Glazkov?
I'm gonna be honest with you, for once in my life, no, I didn't.
He didn't miss much, man. Like the first 2-3 rounds were close, and then Glazkov had a bad knee injury, man. I had flashbacks of my knee injury as well, so it was a shame to see that happen. But as we said earlier, man, Charles Martin's got that target on his back now. Every heavyweight wants a fight against Martin.
I was happy to see it happen. I didn't want to watch fucking 12 rounds of that shit.
Yeah, You know what's happened to me lately? Like, if there's some fights that
would
are a
have
bit
killed
weak,
the whole crowd.
if there's a fight a bit weak, man, I'm hoping for a quick knockout now. I don't want to watch 12 rounds of shit.
Exactly. Especially when you knew that was going to end up being the same round over and over again.
Exactly.
It's just, and we already seen Glazkov stink the joint out at least once on TV. So.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, what do you think?
But that's karma, because that's all on Duva.
Main events,
her bullshit. Yeah, it's all yours. So you know, I don't feel sorry
all their
for
fighters
him.
are taking L's, man.
Yeah.
Right, Leon? They're all taking L's, all the main events.
Oh yeah, they're having a horrible. They've had a horrible last year, really. Apart from the killer, you know.
Like I knew Glazkov was going to lose. I've never been impressed with Glazkov. I've seen one fight of Charles Martin beforehand, and at the same time, Glazkov is just shit. He's just shit. Both of them are shit, and it's just Charles Martin is just a higher grade of shit. Charles Martin is like he's an opponent now. He's the champion, but he's an opponent.
All jokes aside, like, what do you think?
I thought he was all right. I think he's getting too criticized just because he's a weak champ, but I think he's a decent fighter. Like, if he fought a guy like Brian Jennings, do you think Prince Charles is automatically losing? I don't think so.
Yeah, no. Jennings beats Martin easy, I think.
You think?
Yeah.
Like, so right now, if they fought, you would easily bet if you had them just bet $1,000 on Ryan Jennings without thinking.
Yep.
Oh wow, I don't know. I wouldn't do that.
I've watched. He's a big stiff idiot.
No, I watched. Obviously, I watched the fight, and I've watched two of Martin's fights, and he has got power. But when you look at some of the opposition he's been fighting, you would expect him to knock it out. It's almost like some of Wilder's early opposition. So I rate Jennings quite highly, man. So I think he would beat him easy.
I'm in agreement with you, Cam.
Is Glazkov Polish?
Ukrainian.
Ukrainian? Oh, okay.
He looked like a cruiserweight, though. He's a cruiserweight, isn't he? Really?
Yeah, he doesn't look big.
Yep, I agree to that.
I got to give PBC credit though. That crowd was for New York. That was bigger than it's almost 13,000 people, and that wasn't how people shit on PBC for free tickets and giving them away. That wasn't that type of crowd. Yeah, they did real well. They put on a good event for one time. As much as I shit on.
Yeah, but it was
PBC,
Showtime.
Got to give them credit.
Yeah, but it was Showtime.
And the polls.
It was a Showtime event.
So Showtime event was Danny Garcia, Paulie Malignaggi, and they didn't do that type of crowd.
Yeah,
no, it was ESPN, wasn't it?
Oh, either way, ESPN even bigger. ESPN's bigger.
Difference.
Yeah.
Like
that's heavyweight for you, though, isn't it? Heavyweights.
Yeah, man, and they did right. I mean, that's why Szpilka was there, because Brooklyn has a huge Polish base, and like I said, I was there the one time that he fought Jennings, and they showed out just huge. They had like 2,000-3,000 in the theater. It's fucking scary, but my girl said no more when he fights. So I was like, I can't go.
Do you think? Because Wilder spouted off that he would go to the UK, didn't he? In the heat of battle, he was bullshitting, isn't he?
He ain't going.
So we can call him a duck. Then we can call him a duck if he doesn't come.
It's difficult though, because I think Wilder. I think Fury needs to fight in the UK because his uncle can't get into the States, and I think he needs his uncle in the corner.
Yeah, but Wilder said he'll go now, so we can call him a duck if he pulls out of the fight.
Yeah, but also Fury said the same thing. He goes, "I'll fight you in your own backyard." So it's like they both said the same thing, really.
Yeah, that's true.
When has a Heyman fighter gone overseas, though? Has that?
Heyman fighters don't have passports. It's part of the contract.
You know what I mean? That's it.
You want to sign to me? Hand over your passport. You ain't flying anywhere. Okay, anything else regarding the weekend's fights, boys?
Nah.
All right, let's have a break. Quickly talk about the Predictions League. It was the first week of the new season, 2016 Season 1. Obviously, there were only 3 fights up. I had to avoid the David Haye fight because it was scheduled 12 rounds, but ended up being 10. So if you're wondering why you didn't get the points, that's the reason. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of people in joint places, so I'm just going to give a shout to the top 5, give some people whose names don't usually get mentioned a quick mention. So we got Bruto Deluxe in first position, AS Boxing in second, Jack A26 in third, In fourth, we have Boss Up 03, Monocle 78. Go on, Leon.
Yes.
Up in the top 10 after a long time.
That.
Yep. You got Ollie Francis also in fourth, and TBE Chef, my boy Nadeem. Need to give a quick get well soon to Nadeem. He injured himself over the weekend, broke his ankle, so get well soon, Nadeem. Joint fifth, we have Alan Hurst, Boxing Mad UK, Jack SR22, me, Kernan 123, Marcus B, Michael Lukic or Michael, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your surname.
That's one of the TMT tunes, kid.
I know it is, but I just don't know how to pronounce your surname. Sorry, Michael. Minor Bongo, MV2, you're in fifth as well, alongside like 10 other people.
Oh, I'm coming.
PM versus the World, Rob Palmer 135, Ryan _85, Sasa and the Compo. Sorry, people in 6, you're not getting a shout out. The people
that sounded like a chat room shout out right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Obviously, it's the first weekend, a lot of people in joint positions, but let me give the chat a shout as well. We got the Compo, Basileos, Shams 1000, J Swede the A-side, PM versus Jason 268, Nunes 83, Pinhead 360, Raphael 22, Low Country, Bill Bones 101, Boxcar 101, The Boxing Rhino, Stokey, Casual Fan, Colm, Tico, Court Music, Wasif 1, Marky Mark TMT, Nothing for Something, Kevlar, Tony Yayo, Dean Scores, Scorsese in the house, Zulo 90, Sam Pickett, Jack Captain, Nick G, Mongo Sled, and 17 guests. Shout out to all you guys week in, week out in the chat. Alright, boys, shall we have a bit chat about some news and that before we talk about the upcoming weekend's fights, mainly Garcia versus Guerrero, but I know, Leon, you posted something in the chat there, Santa Cruz versus Kiko.
Yep. That's what they're saying. That's
What weight you're talking about this fight? Because Kiko's a small super bantam, and did Santa Cruz not go up to 126 featherweight?
Yeah. I just saw it on Twitter, on his own Twitter.
So is Leo coming back down, or what's going on?
It doesn't say on his Twitter, and I can't see anything on Boxing Scene at the moment. But I would imagine he might be coming back down.
So Santa Cruz is fighting the leftovers of Quigg and Frampton.
Yeah.
He's eating the
Dude's
bag.
being served up.
Yo, that's a bad look, man. Come on.
He's got the doggy bag, that shit that was left out overnight.
I'm a fan of Kiko, man, but his punch resistance is gone now.
Yeah.
Now he's just Ko instead of Kiko. That's a fucking joke. This is getting beyond a joke. No wonder fucking UFC's I know that I said this shit last week, but no wonder the UFC's trampling over boxing when you've got fucking fights like that. A fucking disgrace.
That is a bad fight. Anyone else?
If he doesn't get rid of him, he's going to look bad, though, isn't he?
He's going to look bad anyway. Shit.
I love when Chew's salty, man.
Yeah, it's good. And
as relative, he's a world champion. Like, obviously, he's made sacrifices to get to that fucking level of competition. But the way these guys act, it's like one hard fight and then 4 soft touches. How many times are you gonna do this to the boxing fans? It's like as soon as you fought Abner Mares, you got that monkey off that back. You got the fans respecting you a little bit because you fought a guy who could beat you.
Exactly.
Now you go back to a guy like Kiko Martinez. I mean,
exactly.
Why are you doing that? Why?
Totally.
Cam, there's no weight been released for that fight yet, so I don't know what weight it's at. It doesn't say on his Twitter, and it's not on. Doesn't list it on the weight's not listed on BoxRec.
I'd have slightly more respect if he's coming back down and he's fighting him at 22. But even then, it's like Kiko's not the same Kiko anymore.
Weight, is he?
Nah.
Never.
Yeah.
Kiko's not really a super bantam, to be honest, but like...
They're saying the belt's on the line on BoxRec, the featherweight belt.
Well, so it
how does that even get approved, man? And like Cam and Chew, like you're saying, like, and the excuse will be like, well, if they're fighting 4 times a year, they're gonna have a gimme and they're gonna be on TV. So don't put it as a main event. Put it on as a co-main and don't really hype it and make it like an afterthought.
True, Kev, but other
this is taking up a big spot. Like I wouldn't mind if this was just a co-feature or something like that. I probably wouldn't watch it, but this is supposed to be one of their good fights. It's bullshit.
Yeah, just put it on the Furman Porter card if that ever gets signed. That'd be perfect, wouldn't it?
That's true.
Yeah, I'd be
a great card.
That's true, Kev. But these guys are not even fighting 4 times a year. When did Leo last fight? Was it the Mares fight in summer? It was like August.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what people argue that's why I gave up arguing because
he's playing devil's advocate.
Oh, okay.
No, that's what people gave me whenever I'm on Twitter. Well, they're fighting 4 times a year. They'll get 1 or 2 gimmies. I'm like, is that really good at the world championship level? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
And like you said, they're not fighting 4 times a year. They're fighting 3 at most, Yeah,
I mean, to follow up on that, you've got so many PBC fighters who are barely fighting Sean Porter, Keith Foreman, Amir Khan. Amir Khan has fought like 3 times since 2012.
Amir Khan was like cursed since he signed to Heyman. Before Heyman, everything's fine. As soon as he signed to Heyman, he's fucking chasing the Floyd fight, just fucked him up.
But I tell you what, I'm not even blaming Heyman anymore. You look at J-Rock, I can't even remember his Williams, yeah. On his Twitter feed, he's basically calling these fighters out, and so is Vanes Matarosian. He's basically saying that Al Heyman gives you a choice. It's like top, middle, or bottom. Tough fight, okay fight, soft touch. The fighter picks. It's not the promoter who picks.
Well, then he needs to stop giving 3 choices and, like Wood said, be Dana White. Yo, you're fighting this guy or you're not getting paid, period.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Fuck it.
You're right, but if he did that, then, of course, they wouldn't be with Heyman.
Oh, then?
That's what's got... That's the next evolution in boxing. He's got the one who can fix this fucking shithole of boxing right now is Al Heyman. Just fix it. Just give these guys tough fights. That's it.
And then don't kill people for losses. You have a tough fight. If you put on a good show, you come back on TV. You know what I mean? And there you go, my first, you know what I mean. Fuck, man.
First one of the year.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
All right, should we move on? I'm just reading sorry, Chu.
Nah, I was just... Were you going to segue on to Foreman Porter?
I was, but I'm just reading this Salido versus Francisco Vargas fight. That's a good fight, I think, man.
That's a fun fight. Vargas had a great fight at the end of last year. So.
And Salido always just brings it, man. Even though he's a bit of a cheat, man, low blows and that, he's always fucking coming forward, throwing, swinging. So he's not getting the 3rd fight with Rocky Martinez, but he's getting this fight with Vargas. So that should be a fun fight. I'm looking forward to that.
Is that the same Vargas who fought the Japanese fighter?
Yeah, got that wicked. For me, that was fight of the year last year.
Yeah, that was fight of the year.
Yeah, me too. That was the Cotto Canelo undercard, right?
Yeah.
That's a great fight. That's
a war, yeah.
That's a mirror match. It's a great fight.
When's that fight signed for, Cam?
Let me have a look. Late February or early March, they're saying.
Okay, nothing set yet.
Yeah, nothing definite yet, but fingers crossed it'll get a date soon. Chu, what fight did you just mention?
Foreman Porter.
It's not. I was asking around yesterday. It's not 100% signed yet. I think Thurman's still stalling or something's still happening, but fingers crossed they'll get signed.
Yeah, I saw Porter talk about it on the PBC card on the weekend. You know, Porter was getting interviewed, and it's the same shit. Like, it's coming, almost. It's almost there, and they're building up this fight to be like Mayweather Pacquiao, when really it's more like Bradley Alexander. You know, this fight would have been bigger 2 years ago or a year ago, and these guys have been so inactive that it's lost its appeal.
Yeah,
kind of like Santa Cruz and Mares. You know, they could have struck when the iron was hot, but they didn't. Now it's kind of like a deflated balloon that's just kind of flying about the place, and it's just there's no kind of mystique to it.
Yeah, it's definitely still a good fight, but the X factor has slightly gone.
Totally. Still, I'm picking Foreman.
The whole negotiations is just turning me off. Like, this is the thing that's wrong with the PBC. They're both signed to Heyman. They're both young enough that it should happen. Like, there's no reason why it should be taking this long. Like, it should have been signed for January. It should have been signed for February. Like, what do you have to determine? They all have a minimum pay. I'm sure they have an upside pay. Like, just get it signed. What the fuck is so hard?
What negotiation should there be?
Exactly. They should just be told they're fighting each other. They probably make as much money as they've made and be on NBC or Fox or whatever, and that's it.
It's Al Heyman sitting in a room on his own going, yeah, this fight should happen. That's all that really needs to happen, isn't it?
Having a conversation with himself, like running to one seat and then
yeah, all you should be thinking about is where it's going to be. That's all.
This is what we were told to go away, right? Because he's doing this, it wouldn't happen. This wouldn't happen anymore.
Zulu 90 in the chat is saying Foreman let me down, not wanting to fight. Kev, you went on last week. Do you think Foreman's ducking him?
I don't think it's the Porter side. I'll tell you that much. I mean, I don't know too many people. Everything I hear is he just wants to fight. So I don't think it's Porter's side. It's got to be Thurman's side. Maybe he's pricing himself out. I have no idea.
He kind of thinks he's a star already, doesn't he? A bit. I get that impression.
And let's face it, Porter's always in shape. He's ready to go. Like what's the holdup? It's got to be Thurman. I don't think it could be anybody else. What does he want? Another Louis Collazo? Like what the fuck?
I think Porter's style
is his big show Guerrero? That's it. That's his career defining thing. He's cool with now. I don't get it.
Yeah. Porter's style is like, even though I'm picking Foreman, Porter's style is all wrong for him, I think. Like that chest to chest pressure. He doesn't like that. And I think I don't know what he's waiting for. He's thinking about it more than we're talking about it, put it that way.
Exactly. If you go back to our early shows, I always thought Porter over Thurman, but I thought Garcia would beat Porter. Like one of those triangle things is weird. And I think Thurman could beat Garcia, but Garcia could beat Porter and Porter could beat Thurman. And I'm like, I was hoping when PBC happened that those three guys would be setting up that like round robin versus each other and we get big fights. Instead, they just keep serving up Guerrero and other fucking Collazos to these guys. And it's like, what the fuck? If you got 3 top 7 welterweights and you're not fighting each other, it's bullshit.
I told you he set up a food bank, isn't it, where he just feeds the best fighters a little, here's a C, here's a D. You might get a B minus, but there's going to be no A on A, is there?
Al Heyman, the waiter.
Yeah, feeding you food.
Serving people up.
Yeah.
What about Bill Bones in the chat? He's saying that Foreman's trying to run his contract down. Like
Maybe. What's
I don't know.
What's the prize with Top Rank though? Where's the money there? Who's the big guy?
He could be Pacquiao's last fight. That's the only big fight, isn't it? That's the only.
Yeah, but Pacquiao's last fight will happen by then. You would think.
Well, I don't know how. Yeah, I guess. But that's all you could be wanting from that side, isn't it? Really.
So Bradley's still there. Bradley's still
there. Yeah, if Bradley beats Pacquiao, I think it changes things because
Crawford.
Bradley becomes Crawford. Yeah.
Bradley, Crawford.
But is Crawford a bigger fight than Porter or Danny Garcia? I don't think so.
I think Crawford's got more talent than those guys.
Yeah, but it's not.
It doesn't matter. You can't. Danny Garcia's done pretty good numbers in places and TV. He's got more exposure. I don't know. If anything, it's basically equal.
Danny Garcia is a reasonably, he's one of the better known guys, isn't he, in the States?
Kev in the chat said he wants to go over to Matchroom.
He probably should.
He'll get a Ricky Burns fight. Burns needs a fight. Yeah. Matchroom ain't showing him no love, are they?
I tell you what, it's funny you mentioned that. I think Burns is fucking so underrated at the moment.
Man, Ricky Burns is like the Brooklyn Brawler, bro. He just gets fed up too.
I'll tell you one thing.
He's definitely getting served up to people.
I think Eddie Hearn might hate him. I think he might actually hate him because for some reason this fight with Tatley in Finland that's gone to Mitchell now, and Mitchell got beaten up and knocked out in his last fight. Hearn's treated Burns like shit.
Maybe he slept with one of Hearns' nieces or some shit.
He's done something.
So he's punishing him. He's putting him on punishment.
Yeah, he hates him. I think he hates him.
What's your boy Kell Brook doing, man? I was real high on the guy. I loved watching him fight.
He's fighting bums.
Now he's just disappeared.
He's fighting busy, eh?
This welterweight division has so many like young, prime, good fighters, and none of them are fighting each other.
Exactly.
I wish Heyman had the power to just, and I think he does, to just put up the money and make this a tournament. Try to get the network TV deal by saying, all right, we got this on Fox or ESPN. You're going to get this tournament. This is the best division. We're going to find out who the next Floyd is, and just put all these guys versus each other.
What better division to do a tournament in than that 147? I mean, historically, It's always had the best fighters. Let's be honest. You put a tournament in that's got to make money.
Yeah, you get Brook, Khan, Porter, Thurman,
Errol Spence,
Garcia, and Errol Spence, and 2 other guys. It doesn't even have to be top ranked guys. Just do PBC, and you could get 8 guys. And it could be a tournament.
You could do the tournament and then maybe have Spence fight someone else, and he's then the next guy who gets to fight the winner of a tournament. You could build it so it rolled on as well, couldn't you? Do
those corner to corner shows, so by the time someone makes it to the finals, you already saw 3 or 4 of them, so the public gets to know them. It's something that could work. And of course, they'll never do it because it's boxing.
What are we doing sitting around doing this podcast? We just solved it. We were in the wrong business. Done.
Yeah, if I would have hit Powerball, we would have been on it, kid.
You couldn't even
coalition
pay
promotions.
Robert Guerrero's wages with that.
That's it. Hookers and cocaine.
You've priced yourself out.
Oh, how good is that clip?
That was the best interview ever.
That's the best thing I've ever seen on TV.
Are you talking about Robert Guerrero's dad?
No, hookers and cocaine.
The lady asked her, what would you do if you won the Powerball? He goes, a lot of hookers and cocaine.
Live on air.
She goes, that's not good. And she started laughing. You knew she was digging it.
She wanted in on that, didn't she?
Yeah, she was looking for someone to sling heavy D if she won Powerball.
Sounds like she's promoted by Sauerland. Anyway, just the tournaments are great in theory, but you look at the Super Six. I mean, they all pulled out after the 2 fights.
Yeah, but
this doesn't have to be. This could be single elimination, win and go on. So if you lose, who cares if they pull out?
And he's got them all. He's got all of them apart from Brook. But Matchroom would do as they're told.
Contractually, make them obligated to do it. That's all.
I tell you what would be fucking great about a tournament thing is like you get 8 numbers. You don't know who you could draw. That would be fucking amazing.
That would be so good.
That would be like
hit on something there, Truth.
Yeah.
Do you get draws in the States for cup sports, Kev?
Not just like the draft lottery and stuff.
Yeah, we get that's round by round for a cup. It's amazing. That'd be amazing in boxing.
Our playoffs are predetermined by seeds, and there's a ranking system, so they have the travel and the hotels, everything set up in advance.
Oh, so there's no randomness
on short notice.
Yeah.
And then, because imagine Khan versus Brook came out of the hat.
That's what I'm saying. I would just rig the drawing. This way you get Khan, Brook, Porter, Garcia. I would just rig it. The same way the Knicks rigged it for Patrick Ewing back in like 86 or whatever it was.
I would rig it, but I would make sure Khan takes the pick, or makes the draw, like picks the ball out the fucking hat, just so he fucking knows that it's not a rig.
So he has to read like Brook on the piece of paper and like fucking...
Exactly, watch his heart drop.
Yeah, you see his face on live on air.
Yeah. Like opening the fucking ball and the name of Brook is there. He would fucking die.
We just solved boxing, we just solved the welterweight division.
That's a great idea, though.
The draw idea is astonishing. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that, That's amazing.
Started in January, have it finished in the next February or March. You'd be good.
That'd be like the best year in boxing.
It will, and we know because of that, it will never happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're guaranteed 6 good fights within like 18 months, like 6 high-level top fights.
And the other thing about it is, because all these guys have been in good fights, no one's going to go and write off the losers. Do you know what I mean? Because it's all like, they were in good fights. They were in that tournament.
They can fight on the undercards in the losers bracket or something like that.
You can fight your way back up. I think as long as there's a way back for everyone to kind of get a shot, in the end. But yeah.
They're being served up now anyway, so who cares?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like PBC was always meant to be like the UFC model of boxing, where like the top 10 fight each other, but they don't.
Yeah, the rankings in the UFC matter. In boxing, there's 18 different organizations, and no one knows what's ranked. Like Szpilka was ranked like 6th or something in some division. Guy had never beat anybody.
Well, that deMori was he ranked 10th by the WBA or some shit like that?
No fucking way.
I'm sure someone sent me a message.
He was.
Yeah.
No fucking way. I legitimately thought he was somebody they just pulled out of like a construction site or something.
That's what I'm saying. Boxing's so corrupt,
I didn't even know
man.
who he was. I watched the black guy fighting David Haye before. I fucking thought it went 7 rounds. I thought it was the 92nd fight.
But it's
fuck.
It's like
I know I'm a casual. I didn't think I was that bad though.
But it's like someone walked up to him at the bar and went, "I'll give you $5,000 to walk through that door." And he goes, "All right," and walks through his door, and he's just on the ring walk. Oh, fuck, what the fuck am I doing here? That's what it felt like, didn't it?
It did, but like throughout the post-fight stuff, like the pre-fight stuff, he did like seem confident in that, man, in his interviews. It's just that.
Yeah, but Aussies are cocky like that, aren't
Yeah,
they?
his talent didn't back up his confidence.
Yeah, it's usually the people talking the most shit that are the most shook.
That's
true. I know from
that.
experience.
Silent guys.
I've been on that side of the fence.
Yes. Silent guys put the work in. But should we move on to this weekend's fights?
Yeah, why not?
There's quite a few fights, but I'll just stick to the main card, the PBC card. I think it's on Fox. Danny Garcia versus Robert Guerrero. Undercard's very decent as well, actually. We mentioned it last week, Leon. You know, we got Dominic Brazil versus Amir Mansour, and we also have a fight that I'm looking forward to: Sammy Vasquez versus Aaron Martinez. That's probably the best fight on the card, to be honest. Even more than Guerrero and Garcia, just because of Guerrero's recent run of form. It's pretty weak. I hate Danny Garcia a lot, but I can't see Guerrero doing anything. You know, he's my southpaw brethren, but he's at a weight where he's not supposed to be, and you know, his confidence is very low. His performances have been poor. So,
but in saying that, what has Danny Garcia done to worry anyone in the last 3 fights?
It's true. Like, what do you think?
It's 2 guys who have performed badly over a period of time.
Yeah,
Danny's been winning, but it's not been good, has it?
I'm interested to see what tactic Guerrero brings to it. Is he going to try and box him from the outside, or is he going to stand on his chest and do it?
I'd get on his chest, wouldn't you?
I would fight on his chest, but Guerrero's weird. He does the opposite to what you think he's going to do. Like against
Guerrero,
against Kamagai.
If Guerrero's on his chest, he's going to be right there for that left hook.
That's the issue, but like
weak ass pawing right hand.
I don't know. That thing is, it's the southpaw situation, because I was looking through Danny's record, and he hasn't fought off southpaw in a very long time. Obviously, he's going to have southpaw sparring, but I'm hoping Guerrero is going to be able to do something. But I could see it in the headlines, though.
He's got a chance, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I could see the headlines. Like, it would be like looking back in 10 years. Oh, that was a big upset. Danny Garcia was undefeated. Guerrero was on a bad form, and he beat him. So I could see Guerrero pulling it off, but I just don't see how he's going to do it. Because, like Kev says, if he's on his chest, he's just there in place for the left hook.
Guerrero looked like shit last fight.
Last couple of fights
looked awful. He had one good round against Thurman that made it like hyped, but he looked awful for like previous 10. I don't know. Once I heard this fight announced, I said it's one of those fights that I'll watch the next day if someone said you missed a real good one. Then I'll YouTube it, but. What's the interest in this? Like, what do we learn about Danny Garcia if he beats a 12-round decision or even knocks out Guerrero? The guy couldn't do shit with Aaron Martinez, couldn't win a minute versus Keith Thurman. Like, what's the point at this point?
That's the issue. It's an unneeded fight. These guys have got short careers and they're wasting fights against opposition they don't need to fight. It's just
because I used to be a huge Garcia fan, but these last couple choices, it's making it hard. And I guess he didn't look good versus Peterson, even though he got the win. So now they're scaling him back again instead of pushing him hard, I guess. Or like Chu said, you have one big fight and then you get 2 or 3 shit fights.
It's a joke as well that this is for the vacant title as well.
Yeah, neither one of these guys beat a top 10 welterweight, and they're fighting for a belt.
Yeah, WBC as well.
That's fucked up.
Choose your thoughts.
Just Danny Garcia, like, if you watch the fight against Lamont Peterson in the last 6 rounds kind of transformed the fight by taking the fight to him, getting close to him, closing the distance, fucking landing the left hook and shit. I don't think Guerrero can do that. I think Guerrero's shot. To pieces. I don't think he's a welterweight. He does all this kind of keep fit shit, or whatever the fuck that gymnastic shit he does. What was that called again?
What's that?
CrossFit.
CrossFit, that's it.
CrossFit, yeah. He does all that shit, but he doesn't look ripped to me. He looks chubby. He looks a bit chunky. He doesn't look defined.
That's because all those ripped guys on the CrossFit games on ESPN are all on steroids. That's why. So unless you're gonna get on steroids, you ain't gonna look ripped doing fucking that shit.
Maybe he needs to get on that because it's quite. It looks bad. He looks bad. He looks bad in the ring and his style. He just looks. When I watched him at lightweight, he was fast. He had fast hands. He had a fast jab. He had a great jab. Now he looks kind of like he's stuck in mud, like he's stuck in quicksand.
He looks like a 40-pounder. He looks like
does.
a 40-pounder, like Cam said. He's in the wrong division.
But that's why this fight is kind of interesting, because I don't know if Garcia is a welterweight or not, because he's not faced a true welterweight yet. So this to me is like 2 140 guys fighting at 147. I think Garcia will win. I think it will be kind of like an 8-4 kind of thing. And this shouldn't be for the WBC belt. When you think of the other guys in that division who have beat better names than these two, who are newcomers to that division. Well, maybe not Garcia, but maybe not Guerrero, but Guerrero's not beat anyone at welterweight. He's not beat anyone. He's not beat a live body at welterweight.
He's living off that Berto win. And
even then, that was kind of this,
holding behind the head, hitting all that shit.
That was a fucking shocking fight. And Garcia will win, but I've never been sold on Garcia. He's fought Khan, he's fought La Machina, but that was a long time ago, and you can't just keep living off these names. You know what I mean? It's time to fucking step up and fight all these guys you could fight. You could fight Spence, you could fight Porter, you could fight any cunt. But he just seems to me like comfortable. He's just happy to he's not risking anything. To be great.
He's cashing checks.
That's all he is. That's all he's doing, Kev. He's just cashing checks. He's happy fighting B-sides.
That's it. You got the Al Heyman ATM. That's it.
And that's what's wrong with boxing. That's what's wrong with fans who endorse that. It's just a cycle.
Or even endorsing this fight, like giving him a pass, and they say, "Well, that's just boxing. You know what happens." Well, you got to expect a change. You need to call for a change. I think Guerrero's a 40-pounder. If you heard he was coming down to 40 to fight Broner instead of Theophane, I think people would be happy in the pre-fight hype. Like people would go along with it. At least it shows that he's going down and trying something new. But we already seen he's useless at 47. So, like, they gave him Martinez for him to look good so they could serve him up to a Garcia, and he looked like shit. Like, I thought he lost the fight.
Kev, you know what? But I agree. I think he lost the fight as well. But you know what fucking really bothers me? I listen to all the other podcasts. I've listened to Lucky's podcast. I've listened to The Boxing Voice. I've listened to Leave It in the Ring just this week. All of them say the same thing about this fight. This is an interesting fight. This is a debatable fight. Like, no, it's not, man. See if Robert Guerrero beats him, I will be fucking shocked.
I agree with you. I shitted on this fight as soon as it got announced. And when I heard it was going to be the first fight on Fox, I'm like, well, that's a good way to, drop a shit sandwich right on Fox viewers right off the jump. So I'm not cool with it. Especially like UFC, I think was just on Fox. They had a big title fight. It was after the football playoffs. You could capitalize on momentum, and I don't think this is going to do it. And, you could say Guerrero's in fun fights, but that mismatch versus Thurman, like I said, except for that one round, it wasn't very fun. So what do you expect right now? I don't know.
Yeah, Leon, you still there? Cam.
Yeah, I'm still here. I don't know if Leon might have dropped off. He's still on the line, though.
What do you think about the fight?
Cam, you said you want him in his chest, but hasn't like Garcia shown slow feet? So when you move, it's tough for him. So wouldn't you want Guerrero to be more of that 135 Guerrero and kind of box and throw a good jab?
The thing is, apart from the left hook, Danny doesn't look that comfortable on the inside. So I think maybe Robert can make him feel uncomfortable. Even though he's better for boxing on the outside, Guerrero can box on the inside. His uppercut game is pretty decent. So I don't know. I think it'd be safer to be on the inside. Make Garcia uncomfortable, sit on his chest, pound away.
Make Garcia work.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Keep him active because he doesn't mind taking time off, does he?
Yep.
I just don't think that Guerrero can push him back. Like, I think Guerrero's a bully at welterweight, and I don't think you can do that to Garcia. Say what you want about Garcia. Garcia's got a great chin. He's tough. He's not that fast, but his left hook's fast, and his over right hand is sneaky.
And he has good timing. He's slow feet, but he has good timing. That's why he's a counterpuncher. That's why I think he beats Porter. I don't.
You think he beats Porter?
I don't think being in his chest is necessarily the best place to be, because I do believe in his power. Even though you said you don't think he's a welterweight, I think he is. I think I've seen him. He's a pretty thick guy. I think he's not the biggest welterweight. He's not the biggest welterweight, and he's fighting guys like Paulie Malignaggi ain't the way to prove it, because he's not the biggest guy. So I don't think fighting a guy like Guerrero is the way to prove it either. That's why I think it's a meaningless fight. So
I'm interested to see if the southpaw issue plays anything into it, because Danny did struggle a bit with the what's his name? Fucking hell, my mind's gone blank. Zab Judo. I know he had that cut on his forehead and blood was going into his eyes, so that played maybe a big part of it. But you know me, I'm a southpaw, and I always like to see if it's going to make a big effect on the fight. And I do see it. Like, if he doesn't sit on his chest and he does box at range, the southpaw thing could be an issue.
I think it'd be an issue because he doesn't seem like the most tactical of fighters, does he, Garcia?
Yeah, he's very do as he's told, basic kind of.
Yeah, he does.
Bend your knees, Danny. Exactly. Bend your knees.
So he's not exactly the guy who can. You never feel like all the losses recently is because he didn't feel he could adapt at any point, and that's why I saw Peterson beat him in the end.
It doesn't seem like he's walking people in at much, and that might be because of the trainer. The trainer just might be there to get him in shape and throw punches because it's his pops.
Well, just going back to you, Kev. Like, I know Herrera's a whole different style, but he was sitting on Danny's chest and he didn't really have any issues.
Yeah, that's true, but Herrera's just so awkward.
He is very awkward. That's true.
That it's tough to say. Things go out of the window when you fight like a Maidana, even a guy without power like Herrera who's awkward, that if they're not by the book, so everything you taught really doesn't apply. So it's weird. It's tough to say. Even like that guy, who's that dude, that Australian dude who fought like Winky Wright and some Solomon? What's his name? Sam Solomon?
Oh, he's very awkward, man.
When he was in shape, he was so sloppy, did everything wrong, but he was actually in a good fight with a guy like Winky Wright, who's technically more sound than anybody.
Yeah.
So
he went over to Germany, beat Felix Sturm, and he's so awkward to fight.
That Sam Solomon reminded me of Emmanuel Augustus.
Just a road warrior.
Yeah, just that style. It was just like a kind of like bouncy guy. You know what I mean?
Hokey jerky.
I just want to kind of say, like, I'm contradicting myself. I can't believe I'm fucking doing this, but I want my cake and eat it. I've never understood that expression, by the way. Someone said that to me yesterday. You want your cake and you want to eat it. Of course I'm going to eat the cake. I think I'm going to fucking look at the cake.
Yeah, what the fuck's the point of getting
I've never understood that
it?
expression, but
yeah, I don't even. To this day, I don't know it.
But just in regards to the PBC, this is what I'm talking about. I want my cake and I eat it. Guerrero has really lost his last 2 fights, and I'm upset because Guerrero's getting a shot at the WBC title and Danny Garcia. I shouldn't be upset because I should be a guy who gives guys a chances after they've lost. A loss isn't the end of the world. That's the problem with boxing. It's like a guy loses and then, this guy's shot, and this guy's a bum. You know what I mean? That's like, why?
But he got his shot after Thurman, and then he basically lost his next fight, and now he's fighting for a title. Like, you could give a guy a fight on the undercard versus somebody on the way up, even like a guy like Errol Spence, who still isn't fighting anybody. If he was fighting him on an undercard, you're still giving him a good money national TV exposure fight. So you're not punishing him for a loss, but to basically credit a guy for eking out an Aaron Martinez win after getting dominated by Thurman by giving him a title fight, it's just fucking retarded.
The funny thing is, Martinez is on his undercard, and really Martinez should be fighting Garcia for the title. Guerrero should be fighting fucking Sammy Vasquez.
Yeah, I would even watch that fight. That would actually be a fun fight. I like Sammy Vasquez.
And I think
Aaron Martinez looked better in his last 2 fights than Guerrero has in his last 2.
Yep, and I think Martinez versus Danny Garcia would be a decent scrap. I think Garcia's beats him, but
they're better fights.
Yep.
No, but you know what I'm saying? It's just like the PBC is kind of gone into this model where, like, if a guy loses, they're right back in the mix. And I know, Kev, you said something about this earlier, like, if a guy loses, it shouldn't be the end of the world or something like that. I kind of agree, but that's the problem with the PBC. The anticipation, like, despite, it's like we've been programmed, like the boxing fans, to get more amped up for a guy who's undefeated versus a guy who's undefeated. Like, somebody's always got to go. You know what I mean? It's like you need to have like this cultural reprogramming of the boxing fan to get them excited for a guy like fucking Robert Guerrero again. He's been beaten, he's been dominated so many times. And I know, I bet you he fucking beats Danny Garcia. I said earlier that I would be shocked.
No way.
I know, he probably won't. And I said earlier I would be shocked. Part of me thinks he probably fucking will. But see, if he does, I'm not going to be excited for it because I've seen him being fucking dominated so many times.
And the thing is, I think boxing's missing the mark because about overvaluing that and boxers protecting it. Look at like Lennox Lewis after he got knocked out, like, and he had to fight better opponents to get to the top. It kind of like, and the redemption quality of even Amir Khan, like, having fun fights, and now all of a sudden he's protecting again. But after like the best thing that happened, fucking Lennox Lewis was getting knocked out by Oliver McCall, and then he beat him, and then he came back, and then Rahman knocks him out, then he knocks out Rahman, and then he gets Tyson. So the redemption, the coming back from being put on your ass, like, people really relate to that more than the guy who's just perfect and undefeated, because let's face it, none of us really are. So I think they're just missing the mark. And UFC, like, if you lose, they'll put you back, but they'll give you chances on TV to prove yourself and just be exciting, but they won't put you in title fights the way Guerrero is. Like, that's why their ranking systems matter. This guy will be down and fight his way back into the top 10 and hope to get a new shot. And then you could be a fan of that guy because you see him work his way back up. Whereas now it's just like there's no rhyme or reason. And like Leon said, they're just serving people up, and then they'll give him a win so they could serve him up again, and just reusing and recycling these matchups. It's like filling the C-level guy, filling the A-level guy. And that's how they're doing it.
And that's the kind of the bullshit here is because Guerrero lost to his food in the last fight, as far as most people are concerned who watched that fight, and he's got the dodgy win, and he still gets this big fight. It's just, it's ridiculous.
That's true, Leon, and that's a great point, Kev. There is no rhyme or reason to it. It's like Jazz in the chat says, boxing fans love a Rocky story. It's not even a Rocky story. It's just like random fights. Like just a pure random fight.
At this point, I'd rather see Aaron Martinez coming off his last fight fighting Danny Garcia. Yep. Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing. It's just that they think one name's more recognizable, so it'll get the same fans. And that's why when you ask what if PBC is a success or failure, it's too early to judge. But the things they want to do is get a big network TV deal and bring in casuals. So where are these casuals? They're not really coming. They're losing ratings each show. So how are the casuals going to come? A casual's going to look at a guy like Guerrero and be like, oh, I already seen him 3 times, look like shit. So I'm not going to bother to watch it this time.
The thing is, Guerrero's just getting used for his name. What's left of it, isn't he?
Exactly. Like Lucien Butte was getting used for his name.
Against De Gale, yeah.
Just a random fight with a name.
Just
Doesn't matter if they won.
Put it on the list.
Doesn't matter what kind of record they've had recently.
Yep. All right, boys. Let's get some picks. Kev, what's your official pick for the fight?
I'm gonna go with Garcia wide decision.
Leon?
Yeah, I think Garcia will get a wide decision. Same.
Chu?
I've got Garcia like an 8-4, 7-5 kind of thing.
I was going to say the same. Garcia 8-4. Quickly, just get to the undercard. We slightly talked about it. Martinez versus Sammy Vasquez. I'm picking Martinez, man. You know, twice I've picked against him, and I think I like Sammy Vasquez. He's again my southpaw brethren, but he's a guy again that likes to fight at range, and I think if Aaron Martinez can sit on his chest and put him under pressure, Sammy Vasquez not really had a big true test yet, and Martinez deals with southpaws quite well. You know, he dealt with Guerrero well, he dealt with Alexander well. From what they were saying in the broadcast against the Guerrero fight, his brother is a southpaw, so he's in the gym sparring a southpaw on a regular basis. So because of that reason, and because Sammy Vasquez, he looks a bit uncomfortable on the back foot, I'm picking Aaron Martinez. Your thoughts, guys?
Well, I think it's quite a big step in a weird way. It's quite a big step up, isn't it, Martinez for Vasquez now at this point? Because really, he's coming off. Everyone thinks he's coming off 2 good wins.
Yeah, I mean, and Martinez is coming off a higher level competition than Vasquez has ever seen.
Exactly, that's what I mean. This is it. You know, we said this a year ago. It seems like a good build 'em up fight, but this guy is on a streak. So I mean, I think it's a tough fight, and I'm backing my boy because he did me good by getting rid of Devon Alexander. So
did you pick him as well? You picked him, didn't you?
I picked him in that fight. Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
After I saw what he did to Guerrero, I knew that Devon couldn't handle that pressure.
I'm a huge fan of Sammy Vasquez. So was he first on those Tyson cards?
Yeah,
in Pittsburgh, and he's a very fun fighter, and I think he got hard. So I think it's going to be one of those weird fights that's a real good fight because there's going to be a lot of action. But I think it's going to be one of those weird fights where 2 judges have it completely the other way, and it's like one of those draws, like the majority draws or whatever it's called. Like I think his scoring is going to be all over the place, but I think it's going to be a lot of action and a fun fight. Yeah, I think there's going to be the one guy that's in the book that scores at like 10-2, and then the other one's closer, and the other one has it a draw or something like that. And I could see it totally being a draw in a rematch. I just think Vasquez has got a lot of heart, and he's going to put on a lot of pressure. So even though, like you said, dealing with southpaws, I think Martinez could probably edge him. I think it's going to be close enough with the action and the crowd that it's going to end up in a draw somehow. I don't think they're going to damage either guy's credibility in this fight.
Yeah. Chu, your thoughts?
I've got Sammy Vasquez. Sammy Vasquez is going to school him. And I'm not saying that to show him.
This is my main event. I'm watching this fight.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm hyped up for this one. This is the real deal. This is what it's all about. 2 guys with momentum. It's a collision course. The unstoppable force against the unmovable object, and they're just going to collide. 2 different styles that complement each other. One a come forward pressure fighter, one a kind of boxer puncher. Great matchup. I've got Vasquez. I just think, like I said last week, Aaron Martinez has fought Devon Alexander. He's fought Robert Guerrero. These guys are 140 guys. These guys are not welterweights. And I would still like to see Aaron Martinez take a punch from a big welterweight. Sammy Vasquez, I don't think he's the biggest puncher in the world, but I do think he's a big welterweight, and I do think he can punch. So let's see how he reacts to a true punch from a 147 guy.
Yeah, he has been stopped by Josecito Lopez. So.
Oh, there you go. Josecito Lopez, who isn't a bad fighter at all, but Sammy Vasquez is a level above that.
Yeah. And the thing missing from the main event, I think, is I haven't seen urgency from either of those guys in a while. Like, it doesn't seem like they're, like I said, like cashing paychecks. I think these two guys are hungry and on the way up. I think it's a great matchup. I give PBC credit for putting this on the card. Like, these are the fights that I like. It might be a level below, but it's two guys with urgency. They got something to prove, and a big win here on a big stage could mean a lot to either career. So I think they're going to go for it, and hopefully it plays out that way.
And then how many times have you seen in a fighter's career that it's fight like these are like the apex? You see a guy like a Jeff Lacey, his biggest win's like a guy against like Robin Reed or something like that. You know what I mean? Two prospects. All the time when prospects fight, like this is like the defining fight. You know what I mean? It's like by the time they get to like a world championship or something, something's diluted. They've made too much money. They've lost the hunger.
Or they have a ceiling on their talent. They're only so good.
Even that. And I think this will be a make or break fight for both of these guys. So you'll see that in the ring, I think. I think it'll be a great fight. And yeah, I'll definitely be watching this one live if I can.
Excellent. And quickly, just the heavyweight clash on that same card. Dominic Brazil versus Amir Mansour. I'm a fan of Mansour, but as his opposition stepped up, he's not looked as good. They both have a common opponent in Fred Cassie, and Brazil did struggle a bit with Fred Cassie, and Amir Mansour knocked him cold out. So I don't really think that's gonna play much into it. Brazil's gas tank, I don't know if it's gonna. Mansour's been 10 rounds multiple times, so I don't know if Brazil's gonna struggle towards the end of the fight. At the moment, I don't know. It's a different one because Mansour didn't look that good against Gerald Washington, and he had a split. I think it was a split draw. So I'm not really made my pick. I think I need to go back and watch a bit more of Brazil, but I probably won't. I'll probably just pick my Southpaw brethren, Mansour, and just stick with it. But I could see Brazil beating him, to be honest. But you guys got any thoughts?
Well, I did my research. I happened to reach out to the scholar. He told me there was a reason for that performance being subpar, but he wouldn't share it with me. But he did tell me Mansour has a hell of a jab, and don't worry, he's going to come through on this fight. So I'm going with Mansour.
He got a beautiful jab?
He got a beautiful jab. Yeah, we missed the mark. We should have had a chemo recording right now.
Yeah, I fucked up. I should have done that. But Leon, Chew, any thoughts?
I haven't really seen much of this Dominic Brazil. Brazil? Was it Brazil or whatever? But I did see. Was it the Cassie fight? Yeah, and he looked horrible.
Yeah.
So I'm going for Mansour for the big knockout.
Chew?
Big stiff idiot. That's what Brazil is. A big stiff idiot. And
is he? He's one of them, is he?
He's
I'm definitely not picking him.
He's a one of your collection. I don't see the hype. I don't get it. And maybe he's training at the wild card if I'm right. That's not going to help him. I think Mansour will knock him out. And that fight that you were referencing, Cam, the Mansour fight, his previous fight, he got robbed, didn't he, against Gerald Washington?
To be honest, I only saw bits and bobs of it. I didn't see the whole fight, but from what I recall, it was a kind of a fight of two halves. I thought Washington was winning bits of the first part of the fight, and Mansour caught up in the second part of the fight. But like I said, I only saw spurts of the fight. I didn't watch the whole card.
Yeah, I don't know where he's training, but I remember Mansour saying one fight the reason he did bad was because it was cold outside, so he wasn't really doing road work. So being that it's been fucking brick out here in the Northeast, I don't know where he's been training. So hopefully, if he's still in the Northeast, I might go the other way on my pick. Because if he's not doing road work, he's not going to have no energy. I'm dead serious. He said that at a fight. He's like, yeah, I let the cold get the best of me. I didn't do any road work, so that's the reason why I struggled. He said that before one of his fights.
Shit.
That's fucked up. Mansour's like 40 something.
43.
It's not as if he's been doing much road work in prison. So he should be fucking hungry for that. I think Mansour just needs to hit him once, and that's all it'll take. So I've got Mansour by knockout.
Fair enough. Cool. Anything else, boys, you want to talk about before we go?
No, I'm good.
Don't all speak at once.
No, I'm good.
Chew, Gav, anything else you want to talk about?
Nah, not really, but just let me giggle boxing scene for 2 seconds.
No worries.
Nah, I'm done.
Alright. I won't take any final thoughts because we ain't got nothing to talk about. I want to thank all you guys for jumping on the show. I want to thank Mr. Wood for jumping on, Wood the God. I want to thank all the guys in the chat and all the guys that download the show week in, week out. We'll be back next week. Peace.
You just listened to the Boxing Coalition.
Dude, man, I love boxing. I fucking love boxing.
A big shout out to the Boxing Coalition.
You're a newbie.
No, I ain't new, man.
If my fucking next door neighbour became the #1 flyweight in the world, you know what I'd do? I'd fucking walk past the cunt.
Derek, how you doing, bro?
I was physically banging, blood.
I disagree.
First time I hear the show, man, it was fucking badass.
Vamos Argentina, la concha de su madre.
I see the bomb in him.
I get home and she's like, what the fuck? Me and the kid are here. Why don't you get home and talk to us? I'm like, man, you guys don't know shit about boxing.
Kel, how does it feel to be the new IBF champion?
Feels great. Great. Did we really dive into the black hole right off the jump?
I think he's hiding glass.
Just to play devil's advocate.
You want 1 portion of crow or 2 portions of crow?
Give me 2 portions with a super-sized fries and a large drink, please.
I can't stand him, what? I'm Scottish.
Fringe side? But you won't rush Anthony fucking fat-ass Joshua, would you? He's not fat.
How about you tell us what you weigh for your final thoughts?
My weight?
Thank you for listening to the Boxing Coalition. We are live every Monday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. UK time, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern.